Full screen.
Greetings and welcome to the what episode are we on? 38th episode, Screaming into the Void. I don't know. For some reason, I'm having trouble remembering numbers. I did the same thing on Thursday night. Anyway, welcome to Screaming into the Void. My name is Samuel the Infamous. It's my channel. And with me today, we have a number of returning panelists whom you should all be very familiar with, as well as a special guest. Know me without you? Is that correct?
That's
Okay.
it. That's
Know
me.
me without you.
Hi.
Some of you might have seen her on last night's Royal Rumble. I have her channel linked in the description below. Tell us something about yourself.
Well, I'm an inspiring YouTuber. Sooner or later, I will get to a YouTube video. I have a lot of free time on my hands. I just recently located.
That helps.
So yes, time helps, and you'll probably be seeing a movie, or not a movie, but a video soon about myself. I like to longboard. I love dogs. Food is my love language, and I'm all about the good hangs.
Cool.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Glad to have you on.
Thanks
I
for
like to
having
hang
me.
too.
He does. He likes to hang high. All about that swinging, this guy. We also have with us our lovely co-host, Corpus Senior Tech Cat.
Yes. I like cats. I like video games. And I like the Corpus from Warframe, obviously.
And Velma.
Which, oh, by the way, yes, Velma makes wonderful target practice for us in the Corpus. Oh, and a reminder.
And Rings of Power.
Yeah, they're wonderful target practice too. They squeal. It's a lot of fun to shoot at them. In Warframe, Susan's new replacement. In addition, a reminder, March 6th is International Viso-R Memorial Day. Remember Viso.
Yeah. I think the new guy's name begins with a D, so we can just start calling him Papa D.
No, because I like it better that he's so insignificant that I'm going to be calling him Susan's replacement.
Fair enough. We also have our other co-host, Ryan.
What's going on? It's nice to be back again. Just got off a Legion of Memer stream. We had a lot of fun. So and now we're here and we're going to be talking about probably some of the same topics because, well, just pop culture can't learn its lesson.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I want to cry.
I'm looking at the numbers right here too. I'm looking at numbers that we were going to talk about last night. Oh, wow!
And returning to Screaming into the Void, OG panel member and my co-host on Thursdays, Lawrence Knight.
Whoa!
He's. Are you flashing us, dude? Because that's highly inappropriate.
you're
No, he's putting ointment on his butthole because he got whipped.
Yeah, I kind of did, but that's okay. I've got, well, I'm black, so I've got plenty of rear end. Anyway,
We started early.
The lioness only got the top of the butt cheek. She didn't get the rest of it.
No.
Oh,
So while he's oiling up his claw marks on his backside, we also have returning to the panel Joker Boys.
Hello. Oh, kiddies, it's gonna be fun.
I hope so.
Should be.
Well, it's
We'll make
it's
it fun.
Well, it's
Right.
fun. It's fun when you just look at how ridiculous and how people are not, especially Hollywood hasn't learned their lesson.
Carrie, hold up. Carrie, it wasn't that big a deal. It was a meeting about setting up tonight's thing on her channel. It had nothing. He's exaggerating about getting his ass chewed.
No, I'm not, Carrie. He wasn't the one getting his butt chewed last night.
No, I was sitting back and laughing, but
Oh, you were laughing.
Lawrence slept in the car last night,
so yeah, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Kohai, by the way, Ryan shouted you out, and specifically he shouted out your skill with the blue raspberry on the Legion of Memer stream here just shortly. And for those of you who don't know, this is the blue raspberry.
Oh.
That is a real dildo that I keep in the house.
Yeah.
It's for emergencies.
So we got I see UA has joined us. We've obviously got Thug McCoy in the chat, who also has the link if he's got time. I see Logical Spock. Good to see you, buddy. That's me. We're gonna skip that one. That's Ryan. He's on the panel. Yeah. So welcome everybody. We'll get to all you as you come in and say hello. And also Ryan.
You're welcome. Absolutely. I wanted to make sure to give you a shout out because they were talking about, how they all got started. It's just about fun. It's about joking around, having fun, and yeah. So, I did the blue raspberry one's my favorite. I had to shout that out.
You owe $50 for advertisement.
Speaking of memes and dildos and whatnot, so last night on Royal Rumble, I sent a meme to Ryan because you had made a comment, Nomi, about the unsolicited pictures, and so and it was just a big black dick pic, and Kat got a little upset that she had to. How did you put that? Share it.
Yeah.
I think she was upset that she didn't get one.
Well,
that's fine.
So Kohai went out of her way this morning to make Kat a new one that's all hers.
Oh my! Oh.
Sorry, Mom. I had to do it.
Tucker Carlson is handsome.
I had to scroll down just to get the full context because at first I'm like, Tucker's on a piece of shit. I'm like, Tucker's on a piece of shit. Well, he is a hack, so I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, the afro is for extra stimulation, though.
Yeah, I could see where you could get that impression, JV. But if you scroll down, there's a backstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite the large one. So if you're on your phone, you have to scroll down.
I believe it's the Rambone model.
Start calling him.
It comes in chocolate and vanilla.
Start calling him Tyrone Carlson.
Call him Snickers.
The vanilla must be the albino one.
One of my sisters runs a sex toy shop. She sells them. So.
Oh my God! So you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I live in Las Vegas. There's quite a few of those shops around.
When I used to work at the library, there was an Indian family that would often come to the library. They were really sweet, really nice. And one of their children was albino. You would not believe that he was actually Indian. He was so albino that you would not believe.
Transparent?
Yeah. And his whole family was very dark except for him. Because
that does happen. I mean, like, albinos occur in every race. Yeah, but it occurs in every race and every spectrum across the human race. So,
hey Sam, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you.
It better not have to do with what you were talking about behind the scenes.
Hey, now look.
No, I don't.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I'm already having a bad day.
I don't respond well to threats either.
Please don't. They already ruined Destiny 2.
Now, I have a very serious question to ask you, because inquiring minds want to know. And it's okay to admit it. All right. At the end of the Mandalorian season 2, when Grogu got taken away, you cried, didn't you?
I did not, in fact.
Whoa, no, don't lie, because not only the people watching, but everybody on this panel is smart. None of us has fallen for the banana tailpipe. Not the bite size, not the oversized, not the long and skinny, not the short and thick. None of it. Admit it. You cried, didn't you?
I'm not gonna admit shit. It didn't happen. I haven't cried since I was 12, man.
Denial is a
30 years ago.
Henry, it wasn't just Destiny 2. It was also Hogwarts Legacy.
No, Grogu didn't die. He leaves the show for a minute and then comes right back.
No.
So-
2 years. No, 2
He
years.
was gone for 2 years.
According to John Favreau, which makes no sense.
That wasn't long enough.
According to going from season 1 or 2 to season 3, it was a minute.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 years.
Wasn't
Yeah.
long
I
enough.
think
Yeah.
I think that's why they're trying to shoehorn it in, because if you look at what Navarro, it's
Built up.
it's completely
Yeah.
different than it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where they're going with that. They're like, oh, it was 2 years.
And
Yeah.
you would know
Sure
that
was.
if you weren't so busy crying.
Mm,
I
I was
cried.
crying tears of joy.
Hey, Lou. Good to
Hey,
see
Lou.
you.
Hey, Lou. Hey, look,
Hey,
I
Lou.
admit I like Baby Yoda. I like the Mandalorian. Was the new episode mediocre as fuck? Yeah, it literally rehashed everything we already knew.
You know, I think I said this in chat last night, but the only thing about Baby Yoda that I enjoyed was when he was genociding egg-laying sapiens.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
It's so funny
Yeah.
because he's just like he just eats them so
You know,
fast.
and I know they got a lot of shit for that, but it was really funny.
Even though he
And-
committed like a
and-
genocide, would that also label him as a cannibal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes.
Only if he eats his own kind. I mean, we eat eggs.
See, that's
Greetings, Birdie.
that's the debate I was having with myself. Like, well, they're also creatures that they can also, live in habitat of the planet, but Grogu ate them. So does that make him a cannibal?
I'd say that
No,
he'd probably
can I-
have to be his own species for that
Yeah,
to count as
Yeah.
cannibalism
Okay.
gives him species.
He's a carnivore. So,
Definitely
definitely.
a
True.
dick. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've
Well-
ever. He's never eaten a vegetable. I mean, we saw him eat like what, a lizard and
A
A
bone
squid.
broth soup?
yeah. Like so.
A squid.
Yep.
Raw and wriggling.
And I said that I'm pretty much convinced that the Bryce Dallas Howard episode that got shoved into the book of Boba Fett was supposed to be the series premiere of Mando season 3. I'm
Yep.
convinced of that.
I am too. I believe that whole. The only thing I liked about the Mandalorian, the new Mandalorian episode, is after he kills the crocodile and he lands, and literally everybody is looking. That the hatch comes off, and he just goes.
So
And just like stares. It's almost a little bit kind of like fuck you, in my opinion, because he's like, you exiled me and I just saved your ass.
Yeah.
but that got completely undercut in the very next scene when he's talking to the armorer.
Yeah, which really irritated me.
See, this is why I don't watch this shit.
Well,
It's
you
And,
know.
and this is why I do watch it so others don't have to.
Yeah.
And
same
this
here.
is where I got a small fuzzy animal coming up to me.
It's a kitty.
Buster.
The
It's
big
Buster.
kitty. This is my cat. She likes to engage in catastrophes, as in showing off her little fuzzy ass to the camera. Come on, Fuzzball.
That's-
Didn't she like to
This
sit
is-
on your mouse lately too?
Oh God, yes.
So she's showing off
I
a
think
little
this
bit of puss, huh?
I think this is
Come
the
on,
most. I think this is the most I've ever seen of your cat because usually she's snoring.
Come on. The rule is I'm trying to train her to come onto my lap.
I'm surprised there's room up there for her with the
I know, right?
the wildfire danger you have as a desktop.
I'm always
Right.
impressed. She's able to find space. She's able to find places. Come on.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Sorry about
hold
that,
on.
Bernie. We just
No.
under the impression that everybody here has either seen or heard it already.
Sorry, man.
Now, Cat, does your cat partake in your under refrigerated processed dairy products?
No, she doesn't like dairy products. She
I'm
actually
amazed
does.
I'm amazed Buster can navigate your desk at all, though. I mean,
Right.
Oh well, at least she didn't step on the. She sometimes steps on the button
wait.
for the.
Is that Cat's actual desk?
yes,
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Shut the front door.
yeah, it's a
Alright,
You
fire
can't.
hazard.
The screen's in the way.
Give me a sec. Let me move Buster. Move.
No. I
No.
don't need to see it because that's
What?
gonna. Oh God.
All right, let me-
Yeah. All right, so let's bring her up to the forefront so she can show us
Oh, God.
the electrical
come on.
code
accident
violation
waiting to
that is her
happen.
All
desk.
right,
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
it
that
is. Yeah, there.
What the
Wow.
oh dear
That's the
God,
cat sits there.
Cat!
Cat.
What are you? Oh my God! What the hell?
Cat?
Oh
Um,
my!
I got Ron DeSantis' new book.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of a
Yeah.
fire hazard.
That's
Yeah, but you-
kindling.
Good grief.
That's
Exactly.
kindling. Dear God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Cat.
Thank God you're not a smoker.
Hey, Rez.
Hey, it's organized chaos. I know where everything is. All right.
And you
Well,
got
what happens if like an
and you get
earthquake happens and everything
don't have
plummets
them
on
in
top of
Jersey.
you?
I'm in
And-
Jersey. We don't have them in Jersey.
Well, you
And you
might
got
when the garbage pile that Jersey's built on shifts.
right, and then
Yeah.
and then you got that outlet octopus there on the side. That's like some Lovecraftian electrical horror. Right
That's
there.
why I'd be very lousy in the corpus, because in the corpus they're probably very organized and neat, whereas me, I'd be like, all right, I need someone to clean this
Oh,
up for me.
she set a department store on fire one time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually did.
What?
Wait, tell me. I want to know this now.
Whoa,
Yes.
okay.
All right, so one of my jobs was to repair displays for the store, and
Okay.
the power cord wasn't working, so I replaced the power cord. and apparently,
Someone trusted you with electricity.
yes, and for a long time I was like one of the best. I just used the wrong power cord, and I come in the next day and they're like, yeah, there was a fire in the building. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, that display, yeah, we had to use a fire extinguisher on it. I'm like, I've been repairing displays for 4 years. I don't do anything wrong. And then one time when we get a new GM, and 2 weeks after the new GM comes in, I set the store on fire.
Sure.
Yeah, there was at one point one of our third-party people comes and goes, damn, you're the only store with that display running. I'm like, yep, I'm good.
And set it on fire.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, you know,
Oh, well, at least you don't know about how I once cracked the windshield on the UPS driver.
Well, I want to know
she's
now.
wearing her she's wearing her +3 splody hijab.
Oh,
The guy comes in, and I'm pretty sure he drove into it, but I shut the bay doors on the UPS truck. I checked, all right.
The more I learn about you, Kat.
That's why we
Yeah.
know. I'm absolutely 100% a corpus senior tech. You really think? I mean, come on, it's the corpus.
Because of all the
This is-
the corners and code violations that you cut there.
I
I
am
cut
I am
corners and cut costs. They like,
I am so glad you live on the other side of the country, because God forbid they hired you to run the Vegas Strip.
bum, bum, bum,
Hey,
bum.
come on. At least I'm not Joe Biden.
You know, that could be interesting, though,
You're
JB, because look, it would get real bright for a real short period of time, but for that short period of time, it'd be really pretty.
All right, so
Look at that
They-
blue light.
I
Invisible
actually
from
have
space.
2 power cords. I have one over there that's the same.
Don't plug it in. That's all I
It's
ask.
plugged in.
Oh.
I like how
Wow.
she's like, at least I'm not Joe Biden. At least you're not a senile 82-year-old man.
So I got
Octogenarian.
I got a heater plugged in here. I got 3 monitors. I've got PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Nintendo
Wait,
Switch.
you got a heater plugged in near all that tech?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is it to keep your feet
So-
warm?
So
Yeah.
somebody- so-
But it's not
Somebody
gonna-
help her.
So what you're saying is Cat's electrical usage is probably the same as a small country.
Yes, but I need every
Just
one of
in
my
your-
video game consoles.
Well, at least we know she's doing her part for the environment.
Right?
Yeah.
I ride a bike.
No,
to
that
go to
carbon
work.
footprint. Hey, okay, yeah. And meanwhile, your carbon footprint in your house is Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
What she does for the environment outside, she makes up for her apartment.
Yes.
I mean,
See,
I mean,
I'm less concerned about the environment as I am her entire family dying in a fire.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
How is this dangerous? The thing is neat, organized. It's not like I've got like 3 power strips coming out of
one
power strip.
spark is all you need, bro. One spark is all you need.
From what? I mean, it's a power strip.
This is
people
why.
just-
This is why. When it first came
Okay.
up, Kat, this is why I asked you how old your house is, because if you have gold wire on the walls, it's prone to fire
Ooh.
anyway.
How
Yeah,
is a power? All right, this is an official power strip, right? How is a power strip dangerous if everything is plugged in straight?
You have cat hair all over it. You have cat hair
You have-
everywhere.
you
That's flammable.
You drink around your devices as well. If
Right.
you spill, like you're a goner, girl.
One spark, girl. One spark
From
is
what?
all. Your
We-
room is a
From what?
bomb.
From a fire.
Best case
Your room is-
scenario,
Your
you
room is a bomb, cat.
Nah, nah.
we say because we care.
Yes.
well,
Yes.
you know,
We're
and we all
yelling at
know
you
that
because
she's
we love you.
yeah, and I think that saying that her room's a bomb's just going to make her more comfortable, man. She is arrogant.
Yes.
She's like, at least I'll take some of the infidels with me.
Yes.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
family, great.
And probably the whole square block.
Yes. The infidels must die.
Wait, what was that
See?
article?
See?
Like there was a Chrissy Mayer in the morning yesterday, and she posted an article that a girl in New Jersey, she blew up her house with her cats because they were going to evict her.
Yo,
But
I
it-
saw that.
Yeah.
Damn. Did anybody go, oh my God, was that cat?
I had
No, all
heard-
the
I
cats are
did.
gone.
I would have. I would have thought it was you.
Yeah,
saw that,
exactly.
yeah. I saw
Okay,
Yeah.
so if I hear anything about a random explosion in Jersey,
Yeah.
Well, it's either cat or a meth lab.
You know, I'd love to be able to do that.
And that happened once.
How
and
much
not
money
with
can
me.
you make selling meth? That's the thing.
There's
mean-
money in meth,
called-
girl.
it's called your bathtub. That's all you need.
Because I mean, the thing that frustrates me is you hear about all these drug dealers who are doing their product. To me, that's stupid. If I would be selling drugs, you think I'd be doing my own product? That's like burning money.
Most of
Hell
them think
no.
that when they first start out too.
There's a show I need to introduce you to. It's called Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And they literally break down everything of what you just said. Like, don't cook where you live. Don't use your own product. So
Yeah, that's
they're-
common sense. Don't use your own product. I'm old enough at this point. I've never used drugs. I've never been tempted. Hell, I keep getting goddamn ads for mood. I'm like, oh hell, I'm not buying that garbage.
And you're old enough to know exactly what those wires are going to do to you if you spill anything.
Which
with
is why I'm
that
not going to
Red Bull.
spill anything. As I said, it's every
It
single
could be
one.
glad they're-
Buster.
Just
Buster
be
could
glad
do
there
it.
are no ghosts
Right.
because
There's
you're
not-
cat
looking
hair.
at a
The cat
Nightmare on
hair.
Elm Street jail scene scenario with all those wires.
So,
And she's also old enough to know that eating non-refrigerated letting non-refrigerated food products sit at room temperature for more than 3 hours is detrimental to your health.
It's never been detrimental to my health. If I've ever gotten a problem out of it, I can understand, but it's never been detrimental.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I would just hate to see the small holes that are starting to form in your stomach, and then
What?
and
stomach ulcers from all the stuff that you're eating.
yes, and when those things rupture, you're
Yes.
just going to be dumping stomach acid into your body.
I've
You-
never
you know
had a
what?
problem.
You know, what?
Yet.
she's
It's-
probably healthier than the four guys on the panel, to be honest.
Oh yeah. No,
Well,
I eat
hey.
I eat garbage. That's a fact.
I
yeah.
bike 5 miles a day, and then I'm on my feet for another 8 to 10. Well, generally about 8 when I'm at work, 8 hours a day. So I probably walk.
I mean, that's amazing that you're very active, but still, don't eat expired or let out food.
Not expired.
Yeah, it is.
If it's room temperature Cool Whip, I'll eat it. But if it's expired one day after, see you later. I'm not
It's
doing
not
it.
expired. It's
It
I'm
expired for. It expired 3 hours.
9:14,
and 30
23.
It expired 3 hours.
Wait,
and
did you
33
just say
minutes ago.
114?
9:14, 23.
Oh, okay. I was
I was
like,
gonna say because that was 2 months ago, Kat.
Yeah, but cat.
Yeah.
But cat, here's what I keep saying. That stuff is made cold. It is shipped
Uh-huh.
cold. It is
Huh?
stored cold. You let it sit at room temp for up to 4 days.
Oh no,
Just
never
about-
4 days. Not
To be
4 days.
fair,
No, never 4
She's
days.
not asking you to eat her whipped cream.
Yeah.
Thank God,
yeah.
because
Yeah, what doesn't
So-
kill you makes you stronger. You're talking to someone. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Kat, you
Alright.
drink like 3 cans of Red Bull a day," and then it's like, "Yeah, my entire family got the jab except for me, and I'm the only one who didn't catch it."
What is this?
Right.
What is this jab you speak of? I don't understand.
The
Oh,
injection
was
that
so
they tried to
excited.
force people. The
You know,
bag.
I mean, as long as we're dancing around it, might as well just say, the COVID-19 mRNA bullshit.
You can actually talk about it now. They're being a little more lenient.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't care if they're being lenient or not. Fuck them.
Yeah,
The
they've
pandemic.
We knew they were lying. They knew they were lying.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
actually backed off of it now that certain stuff has come out.
Yep.
What a bunch of ass
and-
wipes.
And who was in charge of this, Samael? Who's the architect of all of this? What's his name?
Well, Carrie's going to disagree with me because he thinks it was the ruler in Tehran, but he's wrong. It's
wrong.
the WEF, whose frontman Klaus Schwab is in fact Darth Schwab.
That makes a lot of sense now.
Well, the
You have a shot at him?
WEF is I do.
You have a shot at him, right?
I do.
You have a. All right.
I do have one. I gotta find it because apparently I just loaded up my stupid thing with memes. But yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So,
him.
but yeah, it is. It's. I mean, it's the fourth fucking Reich in sheep's clothing.
Hmm.
You know, it didn't work with the Blitzkrieg, so now they're using economics and quote unquote education,
Yes.
And fear.
climate change.
His father is a longtime Nazi. They didn't like citrus.
Oh, dude, have you tried to Google that shit lately?
Uh-uh.
No, the Schwab's father.
No,
Right,
I haven't.
because it is nothing but like 200 pages of leftist magazines with articles saying and trying to prove that was a total lie,
Oh,
that he wasn't a Nazi, he didn't, wasn't involved in all that stuff. I mean, everything about that had anything to do with showing that it was a fact has been scrubbed, all of it.
Go figure.
Why am I not
It's-
surprised?
It's the same thing with Soros too.
Mhm.
You're not going to find anything on that.
Yeah, he helped point out he helped point out where Anne Frank might be.
They're over there. They're over there. They're over there. They're over there.
Yeah. Just lovely people. It's
Yeah.
almost like after a certain 1/6 incident, they wanted to put everybody who voted for a certain person on a list. That's weird.
Wonder.
To
Weird.
be
Yeah.
put into camps, to be re-educated.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, you mean the ones right next to Hong Kong Disneyland?
No, get most closer.
Okay.
I mean,
Is the ones that the Australians like to do?
yeah, why go out of your way,
We're-
especially since
we're gonna have to put
the CCP is a rival of the WEF and not an ally.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that was a thing during the last couple of years, that they put people in centers surrounded by barbed wire because they were sneezing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, down under.
Yep.
Oh yeah, down under.
Yeah,
Well,
hold up.
that really shouldn't surprise you. 1942, just if you had Japanese descent.
they did the same thing during the Spanish flu near the turn of the century.
Yep.
Right.
Every mistake they made during the Spanish flu, everything we learned from that experience, they repeated. Every damn thing. I heard Troy Pacelli talking about this the other night. He's absolutely right about that. And it gets worse because if you go back even further to say, I don't know, the 13th century, pretty much everything they did to stem the tide of the Black Plague, all the same
Quarantined.
shit,
Yep.
all about as effective.
Yep.
Didn't-
Nothing's changed. We haven't learned a goddamn thing.
It's
I
almost like
just-
go ahead, Kat. Sorry.
I was just gonna say what I find hilarious is, whenever the topic of World War II comes up, everyone is always like, "Well, if I were living then, I would help."
No, you
I would
wouldn't.
hide.
No, you
No,
wouldn't.
the vast majority of them wouldn't, and what happened with COVID-19 proves it, because they were people just willing to go along. They didn't care, especially the people who would rat out their own neighbors. It's like, no, you would definitely not, and yet, you know what? The people who spoke up and said
Hey,
no
Muzzy.
and risked
Now-
their
Hey,
jobs,
Muzzy.
and they're the ones who would have, and they're the minority.
Now, someone who's late to the party, sure, but if this guy is becoming the voice of reason in the entertainment world, this is weird. Definitely in the end times. Bill Maher said the same thing. Said,
Oh, I didn't know he said it. To me, I've been saying it for a while.
well,
Bill Maher sees
Tug-
which way the wind is blowing.
Yeah, I
True.
agree.
He doesn't believe a damn thing that comes out of his mouth on either
no,
side.
no.
No, what Kat was saying is right. Like, people are not going to support you if they were back in the day, like, I would have helped out and everything. Like, dang, right. Like, you're not. I know they would throw you under the bus the minute you are exposed, whatever, you're sick, whatever. True story. My brother and I, we went into a baby shower of someone that we work with professionally. And this is when COVID had just happened. Everybody's in lockdown. Everybody's supposed to stay at their homes. But our friends were like, well, we're going to be very COVID cautious. We're just going to do our distance, but come over. There's lunch, hang out. It's a baby shower. So we went. Sure enough, we're in the backyard, airy, summertime. We're minding our distance. And the neighbors called the cops on us because we were socializing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no joke. And we saw 4 units come up to the house, and everybody's freaking out. Like, great, we're going to get cited because someone rat us out. Little do they know, we just have good connections with the police department where we were at. And I opened the door. My brother and I were right there. We're like, hey guys, welcome. Come on in. There's food. Make yourself comfortable. And all those officers that were there, we actually had worked with them in the past. They got a plate. They hung out for a while. They're like, hey, like, just mind your distance, but you're not doing anything. And they left.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's just like people freak out at the littlest things. Like, we weren't close to each other. There were some people who were cautious about it, and there was people who were not. But we respected everybody. But someone had to go and be a busybody and ruin someone's baby shower.
Those damn scissoring hens.
Those dang neighbors like peeking over and see what we're doing.
Well, this just brings me to remember this.
We will shut you down. We will cite you. And if we need to, we will arrest you and we will take you to jail. Period.
I wonder why she didn't win re-election.
I wonder how. Yeah.
Hey, Joker.
Because of her gender, that's why.
Hey, Joker, I got one for you.
It's because somebody said her name 3 times.
Thank you for stealing my joke, Samuel. Anyway, like I was saying, no, that was my joke. I told him that joke. Anyway,
my dad told me she was called Beetlejuice years ago.
Everybody.
He lives in Illinois.
Whatever. Anyway, so Joker, think about this: the first Black female mayor of Chicago,
lesbian as well.
Yes, was tossed out on that ugly face of hers on the last day of Black History Month.
Oh, that's so true.
Which I find funny that Black History Month is the shortest month of the year.
Well, she's history now, isn't she?
Hey, you know who blocked me on Twitter? I found this hilarious.
Kamala Harris.
Lori Lightfoot.
No, Faye Johnstone.
Who?
So you know the whole Hershey thing going on right now, and they have that trans woman. So anyway, I retweeted her. I quote tweeted the Faye's thing about becoming the Hershey spokesperson. I'm like, wait, so why? I'm like, why didn't you get any Muslims or Jewish women in hair coverings? I mean, I've seen a ton of trans women in ads, but I don't see a lot of Muslim women in hijab or Jewish women in hair cover, Jewish hair covering. I'd almost think you have something against Muslims and Jews. And my tweet got like 13 likes. I have 1,200 followers on Twitter. I'm nobody. Didn't think the person would even pay attention to it. Next thing I know, tweet comes up. I can't see what I'm responding to. Like what my quote tweet is because the person blocked me. It's like you couldn't put a Muslim woman in hijab or a woman in a Jewish hair covering. I don't see them recognized often, but I do see a lot of trans women in ads. Do you have something against Muslim and Jewish women?
Yeah. Shadow, I know you're sorry, man. It's okay. You can make up for it. We'll just put you out on the street.
I don't know if I can forgive him.
Oh, for being late. Now, he got the times mixed up. The Thursday show was on at like 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and he got it a little screwed up. Which is weird because he knows that the Thursday show is after his Thursday show that he does on Thursdays with Cap.
Well, he can always join right now if he's available.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. You seeing this shit?
Never mind. Sorry, Shadow.
He takes it a little personally when I call him a little green hooker.
Calm down, baby nuts. Samuel, this is actually breaking news. Hold on, let me pull up Twitter. Gotta be kidding me with this crap. This is getting ridiculous.
What?
Yeah.
You'll
It's
see.
the internet.
You'll see.
Everything's ridiculous.
Motherfucker. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I know your computer's a little slow, so I'll pull it up.
It's a little slow. No, it rides in the back of the short bus, dude.
Okay, well that's fair. Yeah, so sharing it now.
All right,
Whoa,
gotcha.
whoa, whoa.
From Daily Wire News, hazmat crew, police, medics responding to another train derailment in Ohio.
Are you kidding?
No, he's not.
How?
Wow.
Somebody
Well-
wasn't paying attention.
Or is this planned?
This
I think it's
apparently this
planned.
one's outside of Springfield. I think it's planned too.
Yeah.
Same. I
So-
think it's planned.
What was this train? What was it? Is this a passenger train or a cargo?
It looks like a passenger train,
It's-
unless
it's-
it's just like a stock photo.
No, I think this is the actual train. Let me see if I can.
Can you
try-
zoom in on that a little bit?
I'm gonna try to pull up the article here real quick.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna share that right now, and then I'll actually read it.
But just speaking of Daily Wire, I mean, I am sure you guys have all seen the new commercial for Jeremy's chocolate bars.
Oh,
right?
that looks hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny, but I'm still not
but-
going to pay him a bunch of
No,
fucking money for bad
no.
chocolate.
And I'm sorry, but someone needs to teach Brett where her camera is because she's looking in the completely wrong direction.
Yeah, she's still hot though.
Wait a minute, Jeremy, the quartering.
No,
Bro,
Jeremy
No,
Boring,
Jeremy
from
Boring.
From Big.
From
Yeah,
Daily
so-
Wire.
the guy who owns Daily Wire.
Law enforcement and
Oh.
other officials respond to another train derailment in Ohio on Saturday afternoon. The Clark County Sheriff's Office confirmed that deputies and medics were dispatched to
God.
the scene in Springfield. According to local media, scanner traffic indicated that a hazmat team was also dispatched.
It's a good thing they indicated it was in Ohio already, because Springfield could be anywhere.
Yeah.
This literally broke like 14 minutes ago, so that's literally all we know. So there are passenger trains that will haul cargo within them.
Well, they have to make up for the revenue that people don't take trains in this
No,
country anymore. So
absolutely
they
not.
have to make up for that lost revenue because they're not selling tickets to those things. I mean, yeah, some people do it as a novelty or whatever, but the vast majority of travel in this country is either by car or by plane. You don't take trains for that anymore. They kind of got shut down, a while back. I think Amtrak's the only one still running passenger
Wait,
cars.
Trains are the ocean liners of modern day.
Yeah.
Like ocean liners back in the day used to haul around cargo, even war munitions. It's one reason that the Lusitania literally sunk, because it was torpedoed because it was carrying munitions.
Right. And it's so yeah, they're gonna start making up wherever they can on that because they have to. I mean, you got companies like Burlington Northern Santa Fe, which I believe is the one that's owned by Warren Buffett. They will haul just about anything. Out where I live is coal country. There's nothing but coal trains through here all day, every day. We supply coal to something like 90% of all the coal-fired power plants, not only on this continent but also in China and Russia.
And in my state where I live, we have cargo trains going all throughout Las Vegas, and they've actually every train is on an overpass because we just don't want to be stuck in traffic. So every street goes underneath a train track.
Yeah.
Yes. Real quick, Carrie. I know, but I'm talking to people who don't understand that ocean liners were referred to as she's.
Mhm.
And yes, she was torpedoed because she had munitions.
Yeah. Back in my little rinky-dink hometown, a train actually derailed maybe 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And it derailed at 3 a.m. And
I bet that was loud.
it was. And the awful thing about it is that I lived 3 streets away. And it's only
Wow.
three streets away from that derailment. We heard the crash. It woke us up. and then to indicate that they derailed, they have to pull the horn to let people know that they're alive and come get them and everything. And yeah, someone intentionally went and got, oh my gosh, what, I can't think. Oh, they welded metal onto the rack or the rail, and that's what caused it to derail.
That's one of the reasons that you want to keep main lines and railways away from residential areas, is because most of these trains are 1 to 2 miles long, and if they're traveling at speed when this happens, you don't know where those cars are going to end up. They could have ended up in your house 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's extraordinarily dangerous. And to slight correction, train derailments happen all the damn time. All that means is that part of the wheel left the rail for a second.
Right.
You get a derailment when you put a penny on the track.
Right.
They don't wreck, however, all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I suggest, as this may have been planned. What I'm just going to ask the conspiracy theorists here. What would be the end game, or would it depend on what it's hauling?
No, this is the same. This is about supply lines, man.
Okay.
About supply lines. It's the
That's
same
what I
shit.
thought. Okay.
You remember a couple years ago when all those food processing and distribution centers were exploding and burning up? This is the same shit, same plan, different phase.
Oh, they're still doing it. They're still doing it. Shit's still burning.
Yep. The only this is my conspiracy little box that I'm standing on. All these trains that are getting derailed. All these trains that are getting derailed right now.
I'm not.
Sorry.
Destruction of logistics. That's not far off. But what I was saying is that if these trains that are carrying hazardous things, I'm going to call it that they're going to say, like, well, now it's a national emergency. All these trains that are getting derailed are carrying hazardous materials. You have to stay home for your safety.
No, that's extraordinarily plausible. It will also give them an excuse to deploy the National Guard and declare martial law.
Yep.
Once any it is just like what it is like what, and this was something that was said by the Van Jones. If you stir up the bottom enough to call for safety and security, then the top comes down, and you're stuck in a bit air trap.
Yeah. Well, and that's Muggsy makes a point. Like the WEF has come out. Everything that's been happening since before COVID, all this stuff has been. I'm gonna use a euphemism here. Predicted by them in their conferences. They've said all this shit was coming.
You mean planned?
Yeah, but they flat said this was going to happen. Hell, there was that video that Schwab did earlier this year that was talking about the shutdown, the worldwide shutdown of electronics, electricity, and the internet. That we'd be back in the dark ages for 2 years.
And then they showed pretty much just the U.S. shutting down. Like, all the lights going out. It's like, where's the whole world?
Where's the greatest resistance, man? Whose communication do they really need to disrupt, to cripple?
Us.
Yeah.
Because we have freedom of speech.
We have freedom of speech, and we're armed to the teeth.
Oh yes.
Which is weird because somebody who did I see? I saw I think it was Copa Catania had a tweet where there is this British gal talking about how great the First Amendment is and how great the Second Amendment is, and she said that the United States has a standing civilian army if they ever need it. And it's weird because every time someone from the left tries to enact a policy, Americans buy more guns.
No, that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for a couple of reasons. Number one, that means more Americans are armed, more Americans are, capable of defending themselves from whatever threat might burst through their front door, whatever threat.
And
also guns and ammo is good for buying that shit is good for the economy. It is like engaging in free enterprise, engaging in an exchange of goods for currency is good for the economy. Printing a bunch of fucking money and throwing it at people who are being paid to stay home at work is not.
No.
You want to stimulate the economy, you get people out there, you get them spending.
Yeah, well, I find it hilarious that I was saying back in March of 2020 or even April of 2020 that everyone was going to catch the COVID. I said it back then, and everyone just. I was against lockdowns from the beginning. I was against all of it from the beginning. And now finally, you know what? I could say, I told you so. Everyone would come at me, attack me about it. Everyone said I was wrong. And I said back then that everyone was going to catch it.
I've had it twice.
I got it twice in 1 month.
I had
that
the original.
sucks.
I had the original variant in the end of March, early April of 2020.
I got, not to like boast about like who got it first or anything.
Yeah,
but-
no.
but-
I mean, I
but-
said I might win.
Fight me, woman. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's go. But I got it in November. No, yeah. End of October, beginning of November of 2019.
I believe that. I
Oh,
really
you
do.
beat
I
me.
was
Yeah.
I was in Puerto Rico. I was doing my last thing for a job that I had at the time, and I was setting up a shop, a store. And at the end of my day, I was like, man, I actually don't feel good. My throat hurts. Maybe if I drink tea, it'll be okay. Drank tea, and I was like, I still have a weird tickle in my throat. And I had to catch a flight. I got to the airport. I got onto my seat on the flight, and I just went downhill from there. Like I had a high fever on the plane. I don't remember landing in Houston. I don't remember landing in my hometown. And I was so weirded out. I remember waking up and it was snowing in my hometown. I was like, it never snows here. I'm definitely hallucinating. And then next thing, I remember waking up in my old bedroom with my parents. And my dad comes in. He's like, oh, yeah, you're awake. Well, you were asleep for like 4 days. Like, Dad, I was in a coma. How come you did
Holy
not check on me?
shit.
It's like, well, yeah, you were like waking up, but you couldn't really speak and you were dead asleep while talking to us. So yeah, I was knocked out, and I did feel like I got hit by a truck or a bus, whatever. And it took me 3 weeks to recover. And then
Yeah,
when the
you
news,
had it a lot worse than I did.
yeah,
Yeah,
and when
much,
the news
much
started
worse.
breaking out, like COVID, blah blah blah, and watching the news, like I had that. That was all of me. So I got it the worst out of,
Well,
out of my
oh,
parents.
Oh,
And
yeah,
everyone.
probably out of most people that I personally know, except the ones who died. But
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
you know, because like when the first time I had it, I didn't even know I had it. I was asymptomatic the entire time.
Hmm.
You know, no recovery, no nothing. I just happened to be a carrier, as it turned out, because I worked in a hospital when it broke out, and I was exposed to all kinds of stuff in that hospital. I mean, like, there's no place better to catch a bug than a hospital.
I agree with you on that, because the last time I got COVID was this past November
Mhm.
at a hospital. I went to the ER because I choked on boba pearls and I inhaled them. And I ended up in the ER because I couldn't breathe.
Fair
then I
enough.
got-
Wow.
And then I got COVID.
Yep, most people get C. diff and MRSA in a hospital too.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, it's the most common place to get those things, and they're extraordinarily contagious.
Yep.
But yeah, and so like I said, I've been exposed to fucking necrotizing fasciitis.
Oof.
I've
You
had
know,
that.
so I haven't had it, but I've been exposed to it. You know, and
No, I've had it.
oh no, I believe you. I'm just saying that I never got to the point where it was actually eating my flesh. But you
Yeah,
know,
it
so
sucks.
I've been exposed to all kinds of things due to working in a hospital. So I didn't think twice about this. It was like, it's just, you know, whatever, it's just a flu. And they kept telling us that eventually they started furloughing us so we couldn't see that the ICU was in fact empty the entire time they were saying they were packed.
Hmm.
But they were just getting some funds to say that it was, and, you know, turning people away at the door who had the sniffles, you know, that kind of thing. Hell, they were turning people away with broken legs, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole thing was a mess. The second time I got it was about I think it was probably in the early fall of 2021, and it hit me pretty hard for about 30 hours,
Hmm.
and then I was fine. 30 hours of absolute suck, but, you know, after that I was fine, you know. So I haven't had any issues with it since.
Yeah.
I've never had it.
Well, I mean, you'll know when you get it because it's pretty heavy.
I almost guarantee she has, because maybe not the original variant, because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They're like, well, you're sick. but we don't know why. They're like, I think you have she said, I think you have what's a bad form of bronchitis? Is it just bronchitis that's bad?
There's asthma.
No, okay, yeah. I guess it was just because I don't have asthma. So she's like, you have she's like, I would say you have bronchitis, but she's like, I can't see it in your lungs, and I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I can't see it, but you have. She's like, I'm gonna say you have bronchitis. You know, she's like, you sound like it, you look like it. She's like, but I can't detect it, and I was like, okay. And so I asked her, I was like, well, what do I do? She's like, okay, well, you know, you need to go home, you need to rest. And I was like, okay, can you have me take a couple days off work? Cause I worked for the government at the time. A good riddance to that job, thank God. Yeah, I was like, you know, can I take a few days off and then go back to work on like Friday? And I think there's like a Monday or Tuesday. And she's like, oh, no. She's like, you have to stay home for 14 days. I'm like, why? She's like, because you could have COVID. I said, but I thought you said I had bronchitis. She's like, no. She's like, it looks like bronchitis, but she's like, I have to err on the side of caution that you have COVID. And I was like, okay, well, I guess when should I come back? And she's like, oh, if your lungs get any worse in any way, shape, or form, you have to come back. I was like, what the fuck? Like, but
How
yeah,
does this work? Yeah.
Yeah. But it ended up I had COVID. Because when I went and got tested and stuff like that, like, yeah, it was just like a lady in like full fucking mop gear comes walking in. I'm like, what in the? This is a zombie movie? Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. But yeah, ended up. But no, and at the time too, because they didn't know anything about it. Like the government was not paying you to stay home if you got COVID. Like I got stiffed on that. Like so, like a few months later is when they started instituting like, you know, mandatory, because you have no choice. You have to stay home. I was like, I'm not going to stay home and not get paid. Like this is horse shit. They're like, no, you have to stay home.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
hear they didn't institute that until about midway through the whole thing.
yeah, it was around like July that they instituted that, where it's like if you got kind of like dicked about it. Yeah, I was like, it was stupid.
I was actually really, I was actually kind of lucky because at the bar that I work at, the owner, because Vegas got shut down except for the casinos. Thanks, Sicilacia putts.
That's
well,
weird.
there's I can go into that because Sicilac hates local bars. He's hated local bars because he was in bed. He was in bed with the big casinos, and when a few years prior, when the smoking ban was instituted in local bars, but the casinos weren't, Sicilac, this is when he was on the city council. He wants everyone to go to the strip. He doesn't like local bars because he thinks the cut they get is too much. So when he shut down all the local bars and everything, my owner said, look, you guys can go on unemployment if you want, but if you don't and you want to just come in here on your shift and babysit the bar for 8 hours. At the time we were making $8.25 an hour. He said, I'll pay you $10 an hour. And I'm like, so wait a minute. I can stay at home and watch cartoons and movies and get paid less than minimum wage, or I can come here for 8 hours and get paid more to watch movies and cartoons. And he's like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, sign me up.
Oh, so you guys were a little bit different, because I know a lot of people, unfortunately, even in Florida, because of the government incentive, they were paid to stay home, and they were making more sitting at home than they were actually going to work.
Yeah, that's been a problem out here. Even now, finding people willing to work out here.
I didn't have a choice.
In the ass.
I was deemed, I was what do they call it?
Right,
an essential worker. Yeah.
Right, but Ryan, there were a lot of people who did have a choice, and they chose to stay home and keep getting on that government dole, and now they don't want to go back to work. So like, some of these guys are still collecting monthly unemployment. All they got to do is apply for 3 jobs a month and prove that they applied for them. They don't actually have to get the jobs.
Yep.
Correct.
Whereas, let me tell you, I even before I was furloughed, I knew things were getting bad. I applied for an essential job, and they were so impressed because I was like, yeah, I don't really need to. They're probably going to give me unemployment, but I want a job anyway. And so because I got the second job before I was furloughed from my primary job, I was able to collect unemployment at the same time because, I had 2 jobs. My primary job I lost, I was furloughed from. I collected unemployment and I worked an essential job. But I wouldn't stay home. Why the hell would I want to stay home?
See, I was considered an essential job too, because when this broke out, again, I was working in a hospital. However, about half of the hospital staff was furloughed indefinitely because they wanted as few eyes on what was actually going on as possible.
Crazy.
And we got told to shut the hell up anytime somebody brought it up.
It was just so frustrating being forced to go. Having to go to work, right? And then of course when you got it, saying you can't come to work, you have to stay home, and them saying, well, we're not going to take care of you due to these unforeseen circumstances. Then later on, they're paying some states people like, I don't know, $3,500 a month to sit at home.
And I think Lou ties it up nicely here. She's saying, talking about the universal basic income. I think that you're onto something here, Lou. I think that this was a way to get people used to the idea.
Right, but the problem with it, but the problem with that is there are folks who like that idea. But a universal basic income, that's going to be based on the entire world.
It's also going to be based on a social credit score. Sorry, just all I had to say.
And then, so folks in the U.S. are not going to like that idea because their wages are going to get scaled down immensely to be on level with what people are being paid around the world.
Yeah.
The U.S., even a poor person is rich by the rest of the world's standards.
Yeah. No, because I know from the salaries they tell me about in Egypt. No, the thing that I never forgot, and the thing that just stuck with me and made me really hate Phil Murphy, even before I knew he was a Democrat, I just hated Phil Murphy, was we were allowed back into the store. A handful of people were allowed back in the store to do shipping orders, all right? People would put in orders and we would ship them out. And it was one day. And at around 2 o'clock, all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, they're shutting us down. Who the hell is the government to tell me that I can't work? Who the hell is the government to come into my job, private business, corporate big box, but still private business, and say, yeah, you have to shut down? Burn in hell, Phil Murphy. You should have been the one furloughed with us. You should have been in the trenches with us collecting unemployment. No, that scumbag just gives orders around. Yeah, everyone has to now wear a mask. God, I hate it. Every moment of that. The fact that you could just come in here and say, oh, you can't work today.
But Kat, they are our superiors. They know what's best for us.
And they have the useful idiots to literally just drone on.
In the words of some other famous New Jerseyans that I've heard of in my life, I got your superiority right here.
No, well, and that's why, you know what? I know people have criticism of the Daily Wire, but you know what? I'm going to have I am permanently I'm going to be signing up to the Daily Wire because I would not have a job if not for the Daily Wire. When they sued Biden over the vaccine mandates, I owe them. The only reason I have a job, and they put a lot of money into that, but they saved millions of people's jobs. So yeah, Daily Wire made a huge difference in a lot of people's lives. I can't.
No, and I would agree with that. The Daily Wire did a good job with that. They really did. That is something I do support. And I do still support what the Daily Wire does because they are an independent news source and they try to be as objective as possible. Now, obviously, we watched millionaires piss and moan about $50 million contracts. I don't care.
My problem with Daily Wire is the same problem I have with Tim Pool is when they're outright saying we want to control culture. no, Ben, I don't want you controlling culture any more than I want AOC controlling culture.
Mhm.
Because if any one side controls culture, it's going to suck no matter what.
No,
Yeah.
agreed.
That is true. Larry, what do you got? You've been quiet.
Yeah. Speak up, Larry. If you're here.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here. Just I had to mute a lot because my son is not happy right now.
Aw.
But he's
I don't know.
quieted up, so.
So your thoughts, Mr. Lawrence?
How angry do I want to get by reminiscing? I mean, I'm more pissed off about it now because they're telling the truth as if these are bombshell exposés when we already knew that they were lying from the beginning.
Mhm.
You know, and all these businesses that went lockstep in it when they knew that they didn't have to. And now they're seeing all the problems that they caused. You got people, like you said, you have people that don't want to go to work. Buildings are empty. Over in the city that I'm at, they have 10,000 openings for the city because people would not come back to work because they don't want to come in the office.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, it's this whole thing is a clusterfuck. It is.
Yeah.
It's screwing over people. The worst part is that it's convincing your average citizen that these are good things and that these are not only good things, but that they're good ideas and that they're their ideas. You know, that's how you're getting they're putting one over on the average person, is they're convincing people that the people are coming up with this stuff when that's not the case.
And the more and more I hear folks from Daily Wire talk, and the more and more I hear Tim Pool talk, which I have basically unsubscribed to Tim Pool, and I unsubscribed to Daily Wire, because the more they talk, the more, Sam, your statement is correct. They're sounding more and more like controlled resistance.
Opposition. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, one of the reasons, though, that I continue to listen to Tim Pool is because whenever I bring up anything that isn't Tim Pool, everyone in my family, because I have a lot of lefty family, are like, "Oh, it's because you just listen to Fox News." Well, Tim Pool isn't conservative.
No, he's not.
So-
He's not right wing at all.
So that's
he's
why
not.
that's why I can use him, because he often says things I agree with. Not always, but he does. He also goes up against the woke nonsense. So whenever Tim Pool says something, I can be like, see, and you can't say it's Tucker Carlson or any of that. It's someone who's definitely not a conservative.
Yeah,
Well,
and
my main problem is he still won't denounce Eliza Blue, and
that's never going to happen, dude. You're going to have to let that go.
Well,
Yeah, it's not gonna
well,
happen.
you know, but you know what? I mean, and Deventi is still locked out of,
And that will likely continue.
Yep.
Also,
You know, it's just the way it is.
Also, I support Matt Walsh. What he's doing to help the kids.
Fuck Matt Walsh.
Why?
You might like that.
Fuck Matt Walsh.
Wow.
You might like
Wow.
that.
Fuck Matt Walsh.
You
What
might
he's
like it.
doing to help
Kids.
gender transitions is, I think, is a good thing. But
Yeah.
yes, there are opinions of his that I'm very not about.
Anyone who watches anime is a practicing Satanist.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
keep
That
in
I'm pretty
mind-
sure he was. I'm pretty sure that was a troll job, a
I'm
bad
pretty
one.
sure.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I don't
does
know.
that a lot. The thing is also, for me to just turn away from someone because I don't agree with one of their opinions. Well, Ben Shapiro, I totally don't agree with him on certain Middle Eastern policies, but there's a lot of things I agree with him as well. I've said this before, I can't function in America if I don't go along with people who I don't agree with on things, because there's not going to be a lot of conservative Muslims in America. So yeah, maybe I most of what I've seen of Matt Walsh I agree with. I did not see the one about the anime thing because I honestly didn't care, but I think he was probably trolling. So I'm not gonna, even if he fully stands behind that, I'm not gonna stop listening. He's doing a lot of good. He got the bill passed in Tennessee to ban it on kids again. he ran to another. So I mean, it's like I want him to come to Jersey, be like, hey, Matt Walsh, can you do something about Jersey? Because we got one of those bills up, and they're saying it ain't getting passed because people are Democrats are just going to vote Democrat. It's like, you really think New Jerseyans want that? No, but they're going to vote Democrat because they're going to vote Democrat.
Can I say one thing real quick because I saw the private chat? Nomi, do you think they know some of your stances about things?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But
no,
yeah,
just,
you don't want to poke the bear. I completely get it.
Yeah.
No, gotcha.
No,
Gotcha.
completely understand.
We're gonna take a hard shift here.
Yep.
I'm gonna
You
bring
said
up
hard.
something that I brought. Yes, I did. I said hard.
I was going to say something else. I was going to bring up another topic.
Yeah. That really wasn't the direction I was intending to go. God damn it.
Well, what the topic
so-
I have can totally kind of
Let's do it.
relate.
What is it?
But tell us,
Go for it.
Sam. Tell us what you're going to say, though.
Oh, well, I was just going to bring up a topic that we had barely touched on last week, even though it was the main topic, in terms of the new Lord of the Rings stuff. That
Oh,
got
no,
announced
not
at
this
WB.
again. I
No.
don't know anything
It's.
about the
I was just
Silmarillion.
talking about how I had not gotten to on that show say what I would like to see if they were to do anything at all, which would be the War of Wrath. Specifically towards the end of it, when Eärendil battles and Calagon in the skies over the Thangorodrim for 24 hours before casting him down and breaking the mountains.
Wow.
That would be awesome. But that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or the story of Beren and Luthien. That would be cool.
I'm unaware of that. I am not. Tolkien lore is a very vast topic, and it's not something that I'm very well schooled on. So
that's fair. That's fair. This would be some of the stuff that Amazon's not allowed to touch.
But
they don't have the rights.
But Warner Brothers is, as I've said, hey, we own the movie rights, and I'm like, yes, that's a nice dig at Amazon there.
Yeah, and Shadow, people are always talking about how Smaug this, Smaug that, fuck Smaug, and Calagon is where it's at. Just saying, best dragon ever.
Okay.
So big he blotted out the sun.
Dang.
He was a badass, the greatest of all the fire drakes.
Oh wow! All right.
So anyway, that's known as Calagon the Black. He's one of my favorite characters from all of the Tolkien Middle Earth stuff.
Gotcha.
Even though he's got a bit part, really he just comes out, he murders about half a dozen nations, and then gets his ass kicked by an elf in a flying boat with a magic rock.
Oh.
So the light of Eärendil that Galadriel gives to Frodo, right? It's named after him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So because after he died, he was taken by the god of Middle Earth and placed into this, or one of the gods of Middle Earth, and placed into the sky as their brightest and most beloved star.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah. Well, all three of the Silmarils were the leftover light from the trees of Arnor, when and they got destroyed and the power was condensed down. Each of the three of them eventually ended up in a different place. One in the deep of the sea, one in the bowels of the earth, and the other was placed in the sky, which is, where Eärendil ended up. And that's the one that he used to defeat Calagon. There's a lot of history there that they don't talk about too much in the movies.
Well, we're getting more, so yay.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not excited about that.
I'm actually since from what I've heard, Peter Jackson and his team have been kept up to date every step of the way. That is the official words used by Zaslav, and that they are in talks. That I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. But like JB, you're more business side on these kinds of things than I am. I'm much more concerned about whether or not I'm willing to watch a thing than I am about like the numbers that benefit the company that makes the thing.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think you provide an excellent resource though. I like these are things that a lot of people need to know. It's just not my specialty.
Which speaking of numbers, we have a new box office #1 and #2 as Creed knocked out woke Antifa man Kami Mania.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's an easy sell.
And the new #2, Dragon Slayer from Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry, not Dragon Slayer, Demon Slayer.
Slayer.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say
yeah.
Dragon Slayer was a Disney movie from 1981 that was fantastic. By the way, you
It
should
was.
go watch that.
You really should. Now, a lot of folks have been doing comparisons from Ant-Man with and accurately so, that it's doing really bad when compared to Wakanda Forever and Thor: Love and Blunder. If you look at the first 3 Phase 4 films, after the initial opening the weekend, so that's the first Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. From the first Monday on, either Eternals, Shang-Chi, or Black Widow made more money than Ant-Man did on that day. The only reason it is tracking better than those 3 films is it's opening the weekend. This film is going to die a hard death.
Very hard.
Because it's good as of right now. It's tracking at its total box office is, let's see, its total domestic box office is 177 million, which is only 16 million behind Shang-Chi at this date. And Ant-Man's total box office is just a hair under 373 million, and it's already #3 in the box office, and it's already been dropped by 1,000 theaters. This thing will be lucky to get to 550 million, and it's got to hit. It has to hit $700 million to break even.
Good.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
not
Damn, Disney.
That
not
won't
even
happen.
close. Not even
Nope.
close.
This
That's
film is dead. This film
Dead
is
on arrival.
dead.
The first weekend box office drop was what, 67%, right?
69%.
70?
70.
70.
And then the second
technically 69.7. It's 70.
yeah. So and then the second weekend drop off was 71%. That is massive.
Well, the first weekend to the week to week was at 88%.
fair.
88%.
88%. Ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark. Hey, Kevin, you hear that?
I like that new bit. That's
Yeah,
funny.
this is probably one of your more
Kevin?
ingenious bits.
Yeah.
Kevin in the closet.
I do like that.
Keep
bit.
it-
That's good.
Keep sucking that Chinese dick. It's not helping you.
It's
Wow.
not working. It's not working. Oh wow.
Because China, because folks are saying, oh, all the Phase 4 horror films, they didn't have a China release. That's why they've only gotten 400,000 American dollars from China. Which guess what percentage Marvel gets from China? 25%.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know. It's worse than 50%. China keeps the majority of the box office.
So what you're saying right now is that Marvel is facing this situation.
Have I seen that one before? Is that
Yes,
new?
you have.
Okay,
You have seen it.
There's just so many. I
We
can't.
showed
I
it
haven't
last
seen
week,
that
and you
one.
were like, "I don't remember making that face."
Well, I remember him making that face, but I don't remember the words on it.
and again, I said it last time. I said
Kevin Feige.
yeah, and I said it last week. You know, all of a sudden they get a new chairman of the board who's also the executive chair at Nike, and the bans on films going to being released in China gets lifted. Wow, that's convenient. Oh, well, yeah. Just saying.
I mean, I don't know how many people in China are going to go see the movie theater anyway, seeing as how most of them are still welded into their houses.
God.
That's an unfortunate truth.
Yeah.
A lovely social credit score.
You
Well,
know,
I know,
I
dude.
was like even the ones who are compliant still can't go anywhere. It's not like they, unless the government's going to bring the theaters to them like good communists would. But you know,
Yeah, you know.
Man, we are
Oh, what's
talking
a
about
good communist though?
all right, do you want me to answer that?
No, you don't have to.
Because I will.
Please do.
No. Oh, okay.
Sam, do it.
A dead one.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You know, now communism benefits no one. As a matter of fact, one of our people in chat,
But wait, but
Yeah,
Samael,
Murphy.
Samael, they said communism works. They said it on The Last of Us.
yeah, they lied.
Yeah.
oh
That was what we call in the business an untruth.
Yes.
It was a lie.
Yes.
It doesn't work.
Which,
No.
which, in reality, that's not a communist economy. That's a trade and that is a barter and trade economy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was nothing to do.
Yeah.
No, what they're
Everybody
thinking of every time that you hear these people say like, oh well, it could work. What they're thinking of are smaller communities like the Amish, for example, where everybody works, everybody eats. Now, it does work in a very small scale. If you try to apply that to a large industrialized nation,
macro,
it will
no.
fail every
Yeah.
fucking
Every single
time.
time.
And usually the survivors will be left, grateful that they lived through all the mass graves.
Yep.
Because there's usually not enough food to go around.
It's like,
know?
I don't know. The best way to describe it is that these kids or people who are pushing for this ideology, they never read the book Little Red Hen. I don't know if any of y'all.
Or Animal Farm or 1984.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Little Red
These
Hen
were
was to
warnings.
everybody.
Or
These were
even the
warnings,
Communist
not how-
Manifesto.
Right. These were warnings, not how-to manuals.
Yep.
Good night, UA. Have a great day.
Good night, UA.
Good
Thanks
night.
for coming, buddy.
No, me.
Anyway.
What were you saying?
Sorry.
I was just saying, just like the Little Red Hen, the story, like she went to every creature to ask, like she asked every creature to help her out harvest the grain, and everybody was busy doing their own
Oh,
lives.
yeah.
And then
Not
when
I.
winter came and she had the bread, and everybody's like, "Hey, like you have bread?" She's like, "Tough shit." Like you didn't help me.
Yep. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in fuck off. If
Hey.
look, you know what? It's one thing to have to help family and friends, but it's a
Yes.
different thing to have like your neighbor down the street like, hey man, we've fallen on hard times, and I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm your neighbor 5 doors down. I don't know who you are. Why are you at my door? Like,
yeah. Or like, I don't mind. Like, if you need a cup of sugar, hey, here you go. Here's a
That's-
cup of sugar.
yeah.
Totally fine with me. And
Now-
Can you loan me $2,000? Fuck off, fuck you.
for
Who are you?
you? I mean, I
Right.
have bread. I'll give you bread, no problem. But 2,000, get out
Yeah.
of here.
Now, I had heard someone say this, and I can't remember who, but it made sense. You go to your national level. You go from national to state to county to city to home. The closer you get to home, the more centralized your government probably or ruling should be.
Yes.
Where the home is the most essential. The further you go out, you want less and less and less and less, not less, more.
Right. It's like you're a dictator in your home. You're a socialist in your neighborhood, in your
Yes.
town. You're you're a democracy in your nation. You're a republic. Yeah.
Correct.
And that is the best way it works. And that's why I don't understand these people who are like, oh, well, we live in a democracy. The states are a democracy. The United States is a constitutional republic or
I
a
would-
representative republic. There's a difference.
I would say the states aren't even a democracy anymore, because when you're telling me that, everyone's going to vote Democrat in the New Jersey State Senate because they're just Democrat, it's like, do you really, some of the stuff, I think the one that really woke me up to it was, oh yeah, they passed in the House that I get rid of the IRS. And then it's like, but it's not going to pass in the Senate. It's like, because they know where the Democrats are going to vote. It's like, excuse me, how many
Well,
New
that's-
Jerseyans really want income tax? How many? But no, the goddamn New Jersey Senate, because they're senators, because they're Democrats, are going to vote. No, we want to keep the IRS. Do you really think New Jerseyans want that? No, they don't. You're just voting that way because you can vote with your little club.
That's because the majority of New Jersey, pretty much New Jersey, is blue. So it is a direct democracy, voted in by everybody's vote is equal to everybody else's vote. So the majority, it is technically mob rule. So the representatives of the mob rule suggested state are going to elect their representatives to go to the representative republic, which is the U.S. government. So if you want to get away from I'm just going to say this last thing. If you want to get away from that, you have to get out of New Jersey.
No, but my issue is this.
Or an idea that something that Razor Fist has suggested, to which I think is a great idea. You set up you have state electoral college.
No, but my issue is this. It's okay. You're supposed to still be doing what New Jerseyans want. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. You're supposed to. How many New Jerseyans do you think want income tax?
Well,
apparently, a lot do still because apparently at least 51%, because they gave a vote to someone who supports that within your state.
It's the same thing. How many do you think support this stuff being done to kids in New Jersey? Telling you
Apparently more than 50. Apparently more.
Definitely
than 50,
not. Most people don't. But that's because it didn't come up. They didn't realize it was an issue when they voted for their Democratic overlords.
Well,
no,
you're talking about politics, backdoor deals, and flat out lies. And
Right.
career politicians are always going to lie, no matter what.
Mhm.
It doesn't, and that's why Donald Trump was so popular, is because he didn't come in and say, "Hey, our system is dead. The system is broken." He was just kind of the guy that showed up and said, "Well, that's dead," and he started telling people it was dead. So they got very angry at him because he's the one who was like, "It's fucked up. We need to do something different." And then, of course, everybody got mad at him on both sides. Like, well, you don't tell them that. I mean, I make $250,000 a year, and after 4 years in the Senate, I'm a millionaire. And it's like, wait, millionaire? Yeah, I'm worth $10 million. That doesn't make any sense.
Anybody else hearing wind chimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my backyard.
Oh, okay. Is it windy out there?
Yeah.
So
Very.
the thing is that now we're talking about, we need to pick our representatives better. We need to hold our representatives to a higher standard. And that is something that nobody has figured out how to do yet, because our representatives are allowed to vomit bullshit in our face.
Term limits.
See,
Term limits is probably the only way to regulate it. And guess who has to vote on it? The
there
idiots.
They do.
are other
Yeah.
there are other
Right.
solutions that I am not allowed to say on YouTube, and the ones that I think are going to be necessary in the end.
How about we just purge the whole thing? How about we just the wall up? How about we just the wall up to Washington D.C.?
And I
Well,
said
see-
shadow. What I said was that a lot of people, it doesn't even occur to them that this is a possibility. That's what I said. I said that a lot of them don't realize what's going on. Yeah, they're not uneducated. They don't know what's going on politically because they're stupid. Most of them don't realize that what their little girl is going to school, and apparently this is happening in New York right now. A 9th grader was going to school and her teacher was calling her Leo and forcing her to pass as a boy, and the poor kid was on the verge of ending herself because the teacher forced it. And this is the one few cases where we actually know where the teacher was forcing it. How many? Because the poor kid started drawing pictures where she was ending herself. How many of the other kids who were being forced to do we not know about? So no, Shadow, I agree. I said that people don't know what's going on. But you weren't saying it. There was something else you were saying, because I said that it doesn't even occur to them to look into it.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
Cat-
she was 9.
Cat-
She was a
Sha-
5th grader.
Cat,
Shadow's not on the panel, so let's
Yeah,
not.
no,
let's,
you're right.
let's not-
Cat.
Yeah.
That was a major point of the list I just wrote for the Lionesses show tonight. Thank you for causing me to have to remove it.
Why? Why?
Because you've already put it out there.
So this is.
I'm just kidding.
No,
This-
she's right. I'm sorry, Zillage. Yeah, that's going on right now. I got the age. I flipped the age and the grade. She's a 5th grader and
Yeah,
she's
she's a
9
fifth
years
grader.
old. And they're filing a lawsuit right now against the school because
they
the
are.
school forced the kid, and they
Yep.
knew about it. The worst part is they
They knew about
knew
it.
about
yeah.
it. They knew about all these goddamn gender ideologies in the school, and the poor kid nearly ended her own self.
You know how you
No.
change. You know how you change that?
Homeschooling.
Homeschool
That's-
your kids.
Part of it.
Yep.
Get your kids out of public education.
My
Get rid
parents
of
are from
public
Mexico.
funding of education,
No,
first of all.
My parents are from Mexico, and my parents did not agree with anything with the American standard of education, so they homeschooled us.
Good.
And you know
Good.
what?
And just another a little thing, at least out here in my state, all the newer schools, they all have the same model. They're all built exactly the same, just like they're
Cookie cutter.
they're very cookie cutter, but they're modeled after prisons.
Hmm.
Mhm. No, that's absolutely true. And it's,
Building our kids for success.
Well, they're
Most
certainly
schools-
preparing them
most-
for a future. Yes.
Most schools, the most schools, their model of how they're built are prisons.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, basically, school food is prisoner food. So
Yeah.
First-
they
first
have the
thing is
same
gotta-
contracts.
Yeah, first thing that's got to go is the teachers' unions nationwide.
And the Department of Education.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
first thing.
Also something that needs to be discussed, Kat, because obviously this is something that you're very passionate about, and you can.
What the fuck?
What? Wow.
Oh, I read that wrong. He said
I
blocks. I got
My
you.
high-
Blocks.
I
Um,
care about kids. I don't
Okay.
like kids being taken advantage of. I care about kids.
True.
I think we need to, for one thing, if you come to school with pink hair and a nose ring, you need to sit down. We need to basically have a purge of the schools. We need to have everyone go through an interview all over again. And we need to, you know what?
Why? Because now you're taking away somebody's rights.
Expression right.
Yep.
No, you want to know why? Because when I go to work, I have a uniform. All right?
Okay.
I have to wear a certain pair of pants.
But
certain
you
shoes,
applied for
But-
that job.
and
You're-
it's the
Yeah.
same with the teachers. Every teacher should have a freaking uniform at this point.
Okay, you are okay, but Kat, you voluntarily agreed to a contract with your job. Okay, most of these state-run schools, they're most families don't have a choice, so they did not sign up. They did not voluntarily sign up for this. So if someone wants to go to school with
No,
Hair.
teachers.
different
I
hair
said
color and a
teachers.
nose ring,
Teachers.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
hired
Okay, well,
to do that
yeah,
job.
that's a hiring standard. If we're not talking about students.
Yeah.
as long as they're federally funded, I do think that there should be a standard of dress and conduct that should be maintained.
okay.
Period. And I think
Yeah.
that cat has on
Okay.
to something there. So
I
yes, as
missed
long as
that.
they're publicly
Okay.
funded, as
No,
long
but
as we're paying the taxes for them, just like with police officers,
Okay.
just like with
okay.
military, there should
Okay,
be a
Kat.
standard maintained.
And like
University.
I
yeah.
said, even kids
Okay,
have a
okay.
certain level of uniform. There are a lot of public schools that do also have uniforms. If you know, I mean,
I have not seen any. It's mostly
Nope.
private schools.
it's
Yeah.
mostly
It's
private schools, but
private
there are
Private
Charter.
schools, and
You apply for.
charter schools. Correct.
Yeah.
Public school, there is no dress code.
Yeah.
But why not? Why not? We have a basic dress code.
Because that's the government.
Because it's the government, and it's
Right.
taken away your constitutional rights.
Yes.
Right.
So it's no different than saying you can't own a gun because of this, because the government said so.
Now,
You can't.
now when I say maintain a standard, I'm not talking about the students.
No,
Right.
no.
I
I'm
was
talking
originally-
about the employees of the government.
I was
Right, right, right.
originally no, I was originally talking about the employees as well. I'm saying the teachers
Right.
definitely. You come into school with goddamn tattoos and no, but at the same time,
I had
why
tattoos
don't we have?
when I was
But you
in
know what I mean.
school.
You know what I mean. The excessive, over the top.
Everybody's showing off their tattoos. I'm not going to show you mine, but I have them too.
whip it out, bro. Come on.
I'm saying
How big is it?
I'm saying
You know what? Kohai clip that he said that.
Kids' uniforms. What's wrong with that? Every kid is given 2 uniforms every year. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. So I will admit, like, being homeschooled, my parents did force a uniform on us, my brother, sister, and I. Even though we were homeschooled, like, this makes no sense. But my parents had a standard of Mexico because that's how they grew up, and they had to respect their teachers. They had to abide by whatever they were taught. And if they backtalked to their teachers, they would get sent to the corner, or even discipline was enforced to the children if they misbehaved.
Yeah.
Right. And that goes back to what I was saying. The closer you are to home, the more tight the more tight the rule is. So if someone is being homeschooled and the mom or dad says, all right, it's school time, go get dressed. Enough for school. That's completely fine. At a public school, as far as students go, you cannot do that, Kat.
Why not? We have a
Because
standard. You can't go out in the street
No,
naked.
because
can't.
that's fine, because that's also breaking the law. It's
right.
What is wrong
How-
with the kids having a uniform? There are schools that they've done it and they found they actually do better when they have
the
uniforms.
same way of
charter
saying,
and private schools only do that.
because you apply for them. It's
Right.
the
You enter
application
in,
process that's different.
and you enter
Every
into a
child-
contract.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Every child has no, you're good, dude. You're coming from the same place. Every child has the right to an education, but not every child is going to apply for a charter or private school where the
Correct.
rules are different.
They can
it's
go
like
to school if they
they-
give them the uniform. What's wrong with that?
you
Why?
can't enforce it
Why?
because
It's not
you're
like you're going to be making them
because
wear
it's
crosses or something.
it's no different than enforcing gender ideology on children in a public school.
Mhm.
Okay.
And,
I can speak
and
from,
then,
okay.
oh, go ahead, JB.
I can speak from experience being a former public school teacher. Okay, I worked at a school that had a dress code. Okay, however, with just a piece of paper that's about yay big, parents can sign that, and their student is waived. There were no uniforms. But there were no uniforms, but there were certain guidelines of don't wear this, don't wear this, don't wear this. All it takes is a piece of paper to say nope, sorry, and that
I
rule
had
is
uniforms.
okay. The rule is arbitrary, Kat. It's arbitrary. And now what we are talking about with charter and private in private schools, you enter into a contract with that school.
And you're
So
legally
they're-
bound to that contract.
Correct. You are not legally bound. You have a social contract with public schools.
Let me just say, Mugs and Kids, I went to a school, 2 years I went to school, I had uniforms. It was private schools, but I had uniform. I still think
Okay,
there's a
Well, so
problem.
You made my
well,
point.
No,
that's a-
but I don't see.
That's a private
Yes, I
school.
did. I wore uniforms as school, and it was so much better. It was a lot
Okay.
better to have a uniform. I think, period. Every kid is given a pair. Either you can choose. Girls can wear pants if they want, or shirts. Everyone is given the uniform at the beginning of the year. Because, you know, at this point, why? What's so wrong with the uniform? What's so wrong with it that instead it actually makes it easier, because then girls are all worried about their appearance and whether they can show off how much, stomach they can show off. This makes life so much easier for everyone.
Okay, but
Go ahead,
can
Nomi.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I had to wear uniforms even though I was homeschooled, but I had to gain that trust and I had to gain that that privilege for my parents to wear regular pants. And I was at home. I didn't wear, when I got into my junior year, I was able to start wearing sweatpants when I started my work because I was able to show my grades. Like, I'm doing well. I'm excelling in this. So I was able to prove that to my parents. So I would believe kids need to prove that they need to work for it if they want to get that freedom. If they want to wear the pants, the girls,
No.
or wear a shirt that's not too revealing. Yeah, they have to work
No.
for
There's
it.
no. You're not working towards anything. This is the school uniform, and that's it.
Hold on.
Go
Let
ahead,
me-
Ryan.
Enforce that though, Kat.
Let me say this, and this is going to be the easiest way to break this down, and this comes back to the fact of how you don't like how New Jersey is run. It is the parents' job to parent the children.
Yeah.
It is
Yep.
not
Clearly,
the
they
Correct.
can't.
no, it doesn't matter. It is not the government's job to parent the children. Parents have all the rights. That's it. That's the way it is. That is their kid. The government has no say over the children unless the parents are neglectful and abusive to said child, and they have to prove so in a court of law.
Yeah.
Tell
and
that
then-
to the government, though, because
And
tell that to the government because they are
and-
actively trying to remove that fact.
Yes.
and my final argument against forcing children or forcing students to wear uniforms at a public school is the Hitler Youth.
Yep.
Mhm.
And don't they in England, if I could be wrong, public and private schools wear uniforms?
That's not the same as the United States, dear. That is apples and
And-
oranges.
Yeah.
And you know
England
what?
does
It's
not
good
have the same
training.
standards that we do.
And you know
Yes.
what? It will start. You know what? I had to say it will train them into. You know what? Be prepared for the real world where, yeah, I have a uniform at work. It will prepare them for it because.
Look, Kat, I don't disagree with that part of your argument. I think that
Correct.
the more prepared a kid is for
That's
the real
fine.
world, that's a good thing. What my issue is like when you said that just a minute ago that clearly parents can't parent their kids. That is the same thing that the psychotic leftists are saying
Mhm.
when they're transing kids behind parents' backs.
Yeah.
It's the exact same
Yeah, but
argument.
there's a difference between transing kids and making them wear something.
They don't
new so
see
they
it
don't
that
like
way.
slobs.
They don't see it
They
that,
don't see it that
They
way.
don't see it that way.
When they make when girls are encouraged to look like sluts when they go to school because they want to catch a little.
Well, that's where the parent.
is
That's
the neglect of
the
the
That,
parent.
that's
parent,
neglect
yeah.
of the parent.
Yeah.
Okay,
I-
Kat, go ahead, Nomi, and then I'm going to bring it probably home to where Kat can understand this a little
Yeah.
easier.
Even though I never stepped foot into a public school in my life, but I still had to step out and get a job. I had to go into society. I had to go make friends. My parents absolutely did not want me to wear anything that was too revealing, especially my dad. And because it would draw attention to me, like unwanted attention. Now, it was my responsibility as like when I was 18, how to dress and present myself. And my parents weren't there anymore. I couldn't protect my parents. And it was the training that they taught me, that they instilled to me, that I had to defend myself or just say no to a guy who wants to take me out because I wasn't interested, or other unwanted advances. So it's up to me. And my parents instilled that to me as well. They trained me to be the person who I am right now, if that makes sense.
Because if you take the parents out, all that's left is the state, and that's the
Yes.
last thing you want.
Let-
And then
let-
Ryan, there you go.
let me say this, because I can see where Kat is coming from, because yes, there are parents
Yeah.
in this country who have definitely failed their children
Absolutely.
on
Yeah.
morality.
I know some of them.
Kat, I'm going to ask you this. If you were to fly to Iran right now with what you're wearing, would you be accepted?
Probably not, even though I'm wearing hijab.
Exactly. It's the same point. They will
No, but
it's nope,
it's not
they-
school. It's
it,
not.
it does it's a government standard being enforced on you against your will. Even though you are following what you feel is right for you, yourself, and your faith, if you go to Iran, the state will not allow that, and you will either conform or you will be beaten. Correct? That's the difference.
Yeah,
You
but
have but your parents taught you how to be like this because they instilled those values on you. It's not the state coming and say you need to wear this or
Well,
else.
what is wrong with expecting kids to at least look neat when you go to school? Well, I mean, it's the same
not
problem we had
your-
with
It's not your place to say.
but they are in front of other kids. I don't want. I mean, does a mother
That
want
doesn't
their?
matter.
Do you
It
want
doesn't matter,
teeny
Kat.
It
girl
doesn't
to be
matter.
going? No, because you need at least some degree of. Is this appropriate for
Okay,
other
Kat,
kids to
Look,
see?
Kat,
Kat,
Is
I
it
agree with
appropriate-
you. I agree
Kat,
that
Yeah.
kids
Kat.
should
Then at the
be
very least,
dressed
they should be
appropriately,
addressed.
but we do not have the
code.
right to force them to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Period.
No,
Kat,
but at the same
Kat,
time, all right,
Kat.
look, it's like Titty Lady from Canada, right?
No,
Big
Yeah.
who
nothing to
turns
do
out to be a troll. All right, is it right for a girl to go into school in a tank top? What's it called? Those belly top, right?
Halter top.
Or
top-
a
top
halter
top.
top, where there are other boys and girls who it's not appropriate for them to dress like that in front of them. There should
Okay,
at the
Kat,
very least be a
Kat,
coat. A
Kat,
kid can go to school
Kat,
with Dory
Okay.
Duck across the front.
Kat,
Let's
Kat,
calm down a little bit, girlfriend.
Kat, Kat,
Let's come down.
Kat. Who's going to enforce this?
You are Joker.
No, I'm not.
No, but
Stop.
there's just some very
That's not my
basic-
job. That is not my. No, Kat. This is going to have to be enforced.
Yes,
Which-
the school will
which-
enforce it.
Okay, so agents of the state.
That's a problem.
Agents of the state. There's the problem.
Yeah, but there is still some degree of just what is
But
appropriate.
who-
You can't have a
who's going-
kid in
who
a big
decides
go
that, Kat?
to school.
Kat,
Guys,
Kat,
hold
who
on.
decides that? Kat, who decides that and who enforces that? It's going to come down to the state every single time.
Cat.
But
The last thing you want is the state to enforce what they feel, even if it's for a good reason. You never
said-
want the state to
Go
come
ahead, I
down
said-
and enforce.
Kohai said the school gives it to every kid. They gives them 2 uniforms every year.
Again, that's
But-
enforced by the
Fine.
state.
You know, even if you don't want
Hold on.
uniform, there should be at least some degree of dress code. You can't have
There-
girls coming
look,
in
there-
in
there
tank
is-
tops
Okay.
and
I-
underwear.
Yeah.
You
no,
still
okay.
have to have
okay,
some-
Oh, okay,
Kat,
okay. Hold on. Let's take a breather.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Guys,
Hey,
Sorry,
Kat, I agree with you. I don't believe girls should be dressing like that to go to public school. I do agree with that.
They shouldn't be
Um,
doing that. But that is the state cannot be
And as
allowed to be the arbiter of that.
Yeah.
They
And
cannot,
a-
because if they are,
And
it
as
leads
I
to other
said,
things that are much fucking worse.
The store is
And-
already an arbiter
and-
to things.
and as I said from working in a public school that had a dress code, all it takes is a piece of paper signed by their parents, and that dress code no longer exists.
Then that's not an option. You can't go to school
You're
dressed in certain ways. It's
Taking
just not
a what-
appropriate.
You are
There's just
treading
some
into
ways-
dangerous territory, Kat.
Okay, let me try
You
to.
can't have a 5-year-old dressed like a whore going to school.
Hold on.
You
Kat, yeah.
can't.
No.
You're okay. So I think we're missing beats here, because we're going to one side to the very other. This is the thing. The government has recently overstepped in the last couple of years, right? They were trying to force people to do something they are not legally allowed to do. Correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
How did that go? Did that work? Yes.
No.
There were useful idiots who are like going, okay. I think Nomi, given her comment, probably understands that a little bit. Trust me. Given where I was worked, I was chastised for my opinions against certain things. The government cannot tell the individual how to live, because we are free people in this country. If we break that, and yes, we have let the government slide. 9/11, the Patriot Act, that was horseshit. Shouldn't have did it. The New Deal put into by Lyndon Baines Johnson, shouldn't never let that fucking happen.
Yep.
We have made mistakes in this country that we need to learn from. The problem is that unless you are intentionally being violent and abusive to your children, the state does not have the legal ramifications to step in. Now, a school can say, you know what, your daughter, your 10-year-old daughter can't come in a fucking thong. That's fine. That's a decency standard for a child, right?
Absolutely,
Because
yes.
but that's child endangerment. That's a law that everybody agrees is okay. Now saying you all have to wear a uniform, this uniform or this uniform, no questions asked. The state does not have the right to do that. If I want to be a police officer again and I say, well, you know what, dude, you're not wearing the right clothes on the street. And it's like, okay, well, he's walking around with short basketball shorts on and his shirt off. Is there anything legally wrong with that? No. Well, I think you should have to wear a shirt. To jail. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
That's the difference. We have to govern ourselves, and we have to do it through communication. And the best way, I know you don't like the way your state is run. The best way to do it, and going with No Me Too, is, you know what? The best thing you can do is talk to your family members and say, hey, you don't agree with me. I don't agree with you. Maybe we can find some common ground and make our local community better, because that's where you have the most voice. It's not on the national level. It is in your local community.
Well,
You can
yeah,
affect your
absolutely.
local community more. You can affect your local school board more, and you have the right to vote as a resident, whether you have kids or not, in that school district more.
Also, all of the assholes who end up in Washington saying that they run the country started local.
Yep.
Correct.
Kat, I
Everyone starts somewhere.
completely understand. You want to protect kids. I want to protect kids.
Yeah.
We have to do it.
And I think we and
Thank you, Carrie.
Cat. And I don't think anyone here disagrees with your emotion in this. And where you are coming from. It's the implementation of this, and where you want to force people to do things. If this
You're
is
saying there's decency standards.
okay, but that's not for you to decide.
And how is
Because-
it fair that the other kids have to endure?
It's not.
because
There's
some
nothing
mother-
fair about it.
Fair
Fair
nothing
doesn't
fair.
come into it. Fair has
There's nothing
nothing
fair.
to
How
do
is
with
it
it.
right if I don't want my kid to be exposed to some girl dressed like a slut in 6th grade?
Then move your kid to a different school where they don't
Yeah.
do that.
Where?
Because
Right.
How?
Then get your
Yeah,
kid
well-
into a charter school
yeah,
or a
charter
private
school,
school.
or private school, or even
or
homeschooling.
homeschool them.
Yeah.
Or homeschool them.
Because if that's what my parents did, my parents did not want to expose us to the
You have
society of the United
options, Kat.
States. Yeah, because my parents had the standard of Mexico, because yes, like in their school, and it's a different country, a different government, they had to wear uniforms in their standard education, versus here it's a free-for-all. People can do whatever they want. They can be taught
How
whatever
is
they
it-
want. And I know it sucks, and I don't like it
Kat.
either, but that's
How
what my
are
parents
decency standards wrong? Knee
There's
length.
nothing.
Don't wear a halter top to school. Wear a goddamn shirt. You can't wear a
But
shirt
who-
that
but-
says curses on it.
But
Just a
but
very
Kat,
basic minimum at the
but-
very least.
But I can't go to that parent and say, like, your daughter's a slut because she's dressed like that. I will get
Right.
my butt kicked for
no,
sure.
all you do is say we don't
Okay,
want
now-
anyone
now,
wearing
Kat,
pants below the mid
Kat,
thigh. How is
Kat,
that
Because
wrong?
that's illegal.
It is illegal.
Kat,
It's a
Kat.
discriminatory practice. It's illegal.
It is.
How?
Kat,
It's
Kat.
discriminatory.
It's the we don't
listen.
want part.
yeah, Kat. Listen to this really quick. You are, again, we do not disagree on your stance, but the problem is you are wanting to impose your morality on other people.
It's not just my morality. It's basic. A girl shouldn't wear pants above mid thigh. I'm not saying. I mean,
Okay,
why the
that's
hell
not-
do I have
that's
to have
not-
some goddamn guy come in the
But
bathroom
that's
at work?
not for you.
Because he
That's
wants
not
to be
for
a
you
girl,
to decide.
but you can't. I can't
Kat.
say that if 5-year-olds can't come to school in
Kat.
bikini shorts.
Okay,
Kat,
yeah, I see your
that's
passion
not
on this.
that. But Kat, that's not for you to decide.
Yeah.
Oh, so
it's
a
not for
guy
the
can
state
come
to
into
just-
my bathroom
here-
at work,
No,
but that's not for me
No,
to
no,
decide.
no, Kat.
That's different.
That
I
is
think
different.
you're conflating two different things here.
Yeah.
And that's a straw man.
No, because
So
it's
let's
the same. Because you're saying I can't force
It's
my
nothing-
will. That dude's forcing his will on me. And
Okay.
all of the other
Okay.
women I work
In a
with.
No,
public
okay.
setting, he's not. It's different than a government institution.
straw
Which is
man,
what a
right.
school is.
Correct.
Government
And-
institutions have to abide by certain rules, and one of those rules is they cannot take a side on any issue. Now, obviously, there are teachers who are fucking doing that, and they shouldn't be, and they
Correct.
should be fucking punished for it.
Just say
Yes.
But They cannot. I mean, it's the same like if you work in government, if you work in the military, you do anything like that, you can't take a political stance on anything. You can't take anything that seemed to be partisan at all, because then it
Correct.
reflects upon the government as a whole, and that
Correct.
is where the problem is. So no, they cannot enforce this shit in public schools. Period. As long as they're publicly funded, it cannot happen.
Yeah.
Correct.
There's when I step outside in the public street, I can't go out naked.
No,
There's
because
still a
that's,
limit to
that's
yeah.
what-
There's still a
because-
limit.
Well, you're breaking the law.
it's indecent
Same
exposure.
There shouldn't be indecent exposure by kids. There's a limit to how much is allowed exposure.
I agree. And if a
Okay.
kid walks out to go
Okay.
to school butt naked, they are breaking the law.
Yeah.
And
And
Kat,
then
Child
Cat.
endangerment.
child
and
endangerment,
Kat.
and then child services will be involved because you are neglecting
Right.
your child, and then
Right.
the
And
government
Kat,
will
this
take
is-
away your child.
And Kat, this is also you keep saying, a 5-year-old should not be able to do this, or a 10-year-old should not be able to do this, or a 9-year-old should not be able to do this. Okay, you are trying to impose the morality onto other parents. This is that dangerous slippery slope area. So
It's this simple. It's this simple, JB.
So when it comes to decency standards, who's going to determine that and who's going to enforce that? And it's going to be the state in both settings.
Yeah. And then, so if the state were to come to me and tell me, hey, you need to put your hair in a bun, like put your hair in a bun, wear long sleeves, wear long pants, and then it has to be orange. To hell with you. I am not going to dress how you want me to dress.
But there's still some very basic moral standards that the vast majority of the people agree
Your
on.
moral standards.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Hold
My
on.
moral standards would be women wearing hijab. Okay, I'm saying there are some very basic that we had 20 years ago, where I couldn't go to school in a freaking halter top when I was in elementary school.
And you
because we knew
know,
that was inappropriate. We knew
You
that was
know-
inappropriate. Now you're telling me I can't go to a teenage girl who feels the need to wear a halter top and bikini shorts and thinks, oh yeah, I'm okay to go to high school dressed like that?
and you
No,
know
it's not
what
appropriate.
you know what changed that standard? School boards, PTA meetings,
Department
parents,
of Education, teachers
parents
unions.
let that slip.
Parents are the ones who vote for the school board members. The school
Correct.
board members.
Parents vote for school board members, and every person a part of that school district has the right to go there and voice their piece.
And that's what
Okay.
Matt Walsh did. He went to
Also-
Tennessee and did that.
Yes, also parents have the right to go to a PTA meeting at the school and say, these are the topics we're discussing in the school. These are topics we're bringing up to the school board. What do you all want to talk about? Parents have failed this. We have to put it where it belongs. It's on the parents.
Correct.
Whether
Because
it's
Not
no,
Because
working.
Cat, it doesn't matter if it works for you.
No, I
It
mean,
matter.
I'm
Then go
talking
to your
about
Cat.
about
Go.
how the hell is it that there is a 9-year-old who got set, who they've tried? I mean, how is this allowed?
Have you?
Because
Have you? No,
it-
hold on, JV.
okay,
Hold on. Real.
okay, I'm
Cat.
sorry.
No. You're good, dude. This is Cat. Have you been to your local school board meeting?
Because I don't have kids, so I don't have the right to. Really
Doesn't matter.
That's not
No,
true.
It,
You don't
it
have to.
doesn't matter.
You're a member of
you
the
have-
district. You absolutely have
Yep.
the right to voice.
you have the right.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, would you like to go to your local school board meeting and tell them how you feel? You're put on the record, by the way. It's
Public
broadcast.
record.
It's public record. It's broadcast virtually, and your opinion matters. You don't have to say I have kids. You can say
Oh,
this
there was a guy just last week, a big gay dude. I don't
Mhm.
think he actually had kids, but he went in and he started talking about like the agenda that's being pushed and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
and just how inappropriate it is that kids are being exposed to certain things,
Yeah.
and how anything like just the flags alone are inherently representative of sexual things.
hmm
You
No,
know,
and
and
then
how that and
you-
he was eloquent as a motherfucker, and I believe
Not
he was just a resident of that school board district.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have the right, Kat, to go to your
I
public
am
school
not
district. No, no,
eloquent. I can't.
I'll help you.
We can help you. No, that's why we're a community here. that good discussions. It's
Most
always
of these
like,
guys write it down because they're
Yeah,
not good at public
and
speaking.
you can also say like, hey, I am a member of this community that I live in.
And
This
that's all you have to say.
this
Mhm.
school is
Mhm.
like 3 blocks away, and I am concerned about the young women who attend this school. I am afraid of I do not approve their dress code or how they present themselves, and I want to protect women as much as possible.
I'm not saying that's happening in my school. I'm saying just in general. I have no idea
Okay,
what's
but
going
Kat-
on in my
It-
school. I'm
it
just saying in
starts-
general. If we
Okay,
want to
and
fix
Kat-
something, it's
You're-
not even an issue.
You're going off on a tangent that has nothing to do with where you live.
Yeah.
You can only affect where you live. You cannot enforce your will on people who live 3 hours away. You have no right to that.
Yeah. But just
Period.
because-
Personally, I think we should have the goddamn banning this transing of kids as a national level because there's some
not-
idiots in some states or like California where you have a father in Texas.
Then you
whose
have to
son
go
is-
back to you have to go back to Egypt. I'm sorry. That's the way it is.
It's
not the
okay
way it's set
for
up here.
a
It's
state.
not the way it's set up here. Kat.
It's okay for a mother to kidnap her child and take it to California. and have
Unfortunately,
kids.
yes, because
How?
she
Oranges
is
now.
the
Apples and
mother.
oranges now.
because she birthed a child.
Yeah,
versus the-
nobody said it was okay, but it is legal.
Yeah.
It's
And then-
legal. I hate it, but it's legal. You
Yeah.
can't
Kat-
take away people's legal rights. It doesn't work
To
that way.
abuse their children?
Look, as a police officer, I don't get to pull you over because you're a Muslim woman and say, you know what, you're going to blow up at the local bank and drag your ass to jail. It
And that's-
doesn't work
and-
that way.
Because he's profiling. He can't profile you. Because if he did that, he
I'm
would
not
be in so
profiling.
much.
I'm
No,
saying
I'm saying
that
Ryan.
a father in Texas had his kid taken away from him because a bunch of wokies.
I
Not just
know.
one. It happens all the damn time,
Yeah,
Kat.
I
And
know
there's
that-
so
nothing
that
we can
he's
do
gonna
about
be
it.
castrated.
Shh, I know, Kat.
Okay,
I know what
Kat.
story. Kat, I know what story you're talking about, and it breaks my heart too. And that father was fighting hell to get his child back because the mom had weird ideas. But like, the fact is, like, our system is broken. The fact that the mother wanted to do this, the government, the state, whatever, did not take favor into the dad's like wishes because the dad did not want to do that. What we can do is literally voice it up and bring our concerns versus being passionate, which is good to be passionate about, but you have to be articulate in what you're trying to present and win this argument.
Joker.
Bringing it back to schools, which is where this all started from. It is the job of the parents to parent. That is their
Yes.
job. Parents have failed. Many parents have failed. Now, in the absence of parenting, if you take away the parents' authority or even their right to parent their child, there is one thing that will step in: the state. That is worse. I would rather have parents make bad decisions than have a top-down government enforcing the morality onto anyone.
So that a kid can come back at the age of 18 and say, "Why did you have me get top surgery at 15? Why didn't you step in?"
That is not the same thing, Kat. That is not the same thing. Stop trying to conflate too many
Hold on. I
different
think
things.
No, because that's what I'm
guys,
saying. I'm saying
stop.
when a parent,
I
parents
think
have failed.
Nomi did the best. Let's let Nomi handle it.
You're comparing oranges to apples, Kat.
How?
They're two different things. Because yes, like, I don't agree with the transitioning of children. I don't think that is allowed. There is a transgender woman that I follow on YouTube, Blair White. She's
Yes,
very
I follow her
educated.
too.
We know who she is, yeah.
She's very well educated, and she's definitely against children transitioning at a young age. She had to do her own discernment, her own learning, her own understanding of what she believed and what she identified with. I have no problem with Blair White being a male to female. And
No,
that
I
is,
don't either.
but yeah, has every right, and she's amazing. Now, for the school to institutionalize your child, yes, I don't agree with that. You have no right. You're not the parent. I am. I get to decide what's best for my children. If I come to that bridge where my child is kind of questioning it, you know what? I will have to seek it out and do my best education and do my due diligence. But I can't, like, if the state is enforcing to let my son wear a dress, no, I'm not going to let you wear that because you are giving him that mindset, not me. My son is going to be out playing in the dirt, playing with trucks, using sticks as little
I don't see
toys.
the connection. I'm saying
But
that if a parent wants to transition their 13-year-old, then yes, the state should come in and say, hell no. This should be on a national level. You are abusing your child.
But
That
that's
is
the
flat
thing.
out
have to
child abuse.
absolutely 100% disagree with what you just said.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen
no.
to that.
You want
Because
to
that's
100%.
you want
hold
to
on.
castrate your 15-year-old.
Cat,
That
cat.
is child
Didn't say
abuse.
I want to
Cat.
castrate a 15-year-old. I said that I cannot agree with allowing the
Correct.
state to
Yes.
step in at
Correct.
any time and
Correct.
dictate whatever the fuck they want.
So
That
if a
cannot
parent
happen.
is beating,
Like-
if a parent is beating their child, the state is allowed to step in. But if a parent cuts their daughter's breasts off and starts giving her testosterone at 15, that's
Which
not
is
abuse,
legal in this country right now. It sucks,
and
but
it
there
shouldn't
it is.
be.
Right.
I know.
I
I
agree
agree
with
with
you.
you.
It
I
should
agree
be.
Step
with
in
you.
and
Guys.
make it illegal.
I know.
You can't give the state that much fucking power,
But
Cat,
the-
because
Yes.
it always ends
No,
up in
Cat.
mass fucking shootings. Always.
yes,
Always.
Cat.
And,
Like-
and mass death.
Yes, Kat. Like,
Guys.
if you give the government more than what you already have, we're all fucked. We
I'm
really are.
saying-
I mean, as it is, we're already messed up as a country. We really
Guys,
are.
I
But,
I think we
Brian-
need to move on.
Thank you, Ryan. But Kat, I agree with you. We should move
No,
on.
I
this.
can't believe that you guys
But-
think it's okay for parents to allow that it shouldn't be illegal. This should be 100% illegal. I cannot believe this is something that has to be illegal. It is child abuse. It is flat out
I
child
agree,
abuse.
but it is
It is.
currently not illegal. And what you're proposing now, if it's a state by state thing, I can get behind states making it illegal in their states.
Yeah.
I believe in states ruling themselves, but the federal government cannot have that fucking power.
Yeah, they cannot. Do
They'll
not
use
give-
it. They'll use it as a stepping stone to take away rights from us.
And then
They won't-
we'll totally be living in 1984. 100%.
Florida will vote one way on the issue.
Yeah.
California will vote the other way. The federal government will never, ever, ever stop this because they can't. And unfortunately, the way it is, the administration that's in power would be in favor of this and would force it on every state in this country if it could. The previous one would not. We can't give the government that much power because New York is not Florida, California is not Texas, and quite frankly, Nebraska is not Colorado.
Yeah.
It's almost like the leftist assertion that our guns should be taken away from us because gun violence is through the roof, and by taking guns from law-abiding citizens, it's going to stop all crime.
No, it's not. And let Chicago be a prime example of taking away guns, but there's still criminals with guns.
Highest shooting rates every weekend in the country, just about
Yeah.
in Chicago,
yet at
and
the
they have
same
outlawed the fuck out of guns there.
And yet
But
at the same time, alcohol is not allowed under a certain age.
That's
How
Everywhere.
old does that go, Kat? How old does that go?
No, but
do you know any kids who don't drink under it? Because I mean, it happens all the fucking time. It doesn't matter
but
if
at
something's
least-
illegal.
It's illegal. Or the fact that weed is now legal. Okay. It was not like every state voted on it. Weed is now legal.
But every state did
Not-
vote on it.
not
That was
a-
a state by state thing. That wasn't
Yeah.
a federal thing.
It's
But then
not
it
federal-
became a federal thing.
I
No,
live
it's
in
No,
what's
it's
no, they
still
didn't.
illegal. It's
No,
still
it's
illegal
still
in the
illegal.
federal government.
I live
I-
in what's called the contact high state. Every state around me it's legal in, but it is not legal in Wyoming.
Yeah, I am also living in a mile high state, and it is
Mhm.
legal. But like, if I were to go to Texas, it's not legal there. It's not legal in the state of Texas. It is legal in the state of New Mexico and Colorado. But if I were to take weed to Texas or Arizona, I will be in trouble.
I believe it was like 1 or 2 states, and that they were going to be passing it as well to make it legal because it was already on the federal level.
No, it didn't
it's
get
not a-
cleared. It's not on a federal
Look,
thing.
There
Funny
is
story
no-
about that.
There
Actually,
is
Hey,
go ahead.
When it comes to the abuse of children, there is nothing you can convince me to not say that this should not be illegal on a national level. This is disgusting, deplorable behavior. Children are being harmed. It's being taken advantage of. There is nothing you can do to convince me that this should not be illegal on a national level.
Okay.
What is happening to children, to people like Chloe Cole, to all these people should never have been allowed. And at the very least, there are times when, yes, the government needs to step in and protect those who are vulnerable. When you have some sick mother who wants
They
her child.
don't
Hey,
do
Kat,
that.
I
Kat,
am
Hold on,
sorry.
let her
hold
No,
on.
it happens. Mothers who want to go on TikTok and whatever get attention from their kids so that it become celebrities because my 2-year-old is trans. There's nothing you can convince me that this. I don't care about it. Slippery slopes. You're talking that in about 10 to 15 years, we're going to have thousands of children coming forward and saying, "What the hell did I do to my body?"
Hold on.
And
Kat,
they are making it
Kat,
more and more popular.
Kat, I want to say, for the women or the mothers who are on TikTok who are saying my 2-year-old is trans, why are they on TikTok promoting it? Are they doing it for the clout or are they taking care of the child?
Clout.
Exactly. So the parent is doing it for their gain, not for the sake of their children.
Yes.
Now, I do see, like, yes, like, if children are being abused, by all means, someone needs to step up and take away that child. But the state, the government should not ever, ever take that right away from the parent.
No.
If anything,
this
it should be
is not all right.
it should be the grandparents, the
This
brother,
isn't
the
all right.
sister. Because
Show
if I were to do that to, I don't have any kids myself, but if I were to do that to my child, I know
I do.
I know my parents, my grandparents, my brother and sister will literally do anything to take my child away to make sure, like, I will never harm my child.
And you
It's
know,
always going to start from home. It starts from
and
home.
no, but the thing is, you know what's funny is if a grandmother came in and said, "No, I don't want you transing my grandson," what's going to happen? State's going to step in and take the child from the grandmother. That's the irony. So
Nope.
no, even if a
No,
parent were
No,
to try to, because they
contact.
wouldn't.
no. This if my grandmother were to come to me right now and take away my child because, like, I'm dressing my 2-year-old son in a dress, the state can't do anything. The
They would
state
say you're denying your child's gender identity.
It
It's
depends on the
happening.
It
state.
depends on the
Depends on-
state. It depends on the state. And if I were cutting, well, yes, I know cutting body stuff for the kids, but if I were, like, hitting
Body
my kid,
dysmorphia.
body dysmorphia, whatever. But if I were to physically hit my kid, giving bruises every day, and he's malnourished, he's depressed, he's anxious because he's fear of living at home, yes, the state will come in because I am literally abusing my child.
But there are
Ozzy.
states, if you get your child's dick chopped off at 15, they're not going to do anything about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's
And
messed
then-
up.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. JV, take another break.
I'm good.
This is the deal. This is a new form of child abuse we've never seen ever.
It is. Yes.
We can't fix that problem overnight, right? Back in the days of Game of Thrones, it was okay for, to wed a 13-year-old to a 35-year-old. It's a new form of child abuse we've never seen. We have to address it accordingly.
Not going into the Discord voice chat.
Stop.
Shadow. I really don't want
Oh,
to.
okay. Shadow, shut the hell up. Cat, talk to us. It's a new form of child abuse we've never dealt with before. Okay, they call it gender affirming care. Everything the Tuskegee experiments were supposed to be to cure black men of certain types of syphilis, right?
And
No, they didn't.
and sickle cell.
Yes, they didn't. The government didn't. They experimented on them. This is no different. If you want things to be different, then we have to vote on it state by state. But it's not going to change overnight. It's not going to change in the next 5 years or the 10 years. Parents have to step up and say, no, I do not want this for my children. And that goes for state representatives. That goes for people in said states. Now, there's been a mass exodus from California because these people are like, I don't want any of this for my children. I don't want to live in a place where people take shits on the street. I don't want it. That's the only thing we can do because we can't force other people to think the way that we think. And quite frankly, if you force other people to think the way you think, You are the one that's wrong. Even if
you are the tyrant now.
Because I
even
don't
if
want
you're
children to be
no,
abused.
hold on. Even if your morality is right, forcing it on other people is wrong. They don't think the way you do.
Everyone,
They have different life experiences, and and Kat, I can see that that this is very emotional for you, and I understand.
yeah,
I don't want kids to be taken advantage of.
everyone has a free will. That's
No.
the thing.
You just said that if you were beating and harming your child, they would take the child from you. But it's okay because
No, stop. You're not listening. That's how it used to be. As somebody who has been a police officer, as somebody who's seen children beaten or raped, like I know how it is. This is something that has been established that we have on the law, on the books as a law.
Existing
This is
precedent.
this is new. We don't know how to deal with this yet, and there are people who believe in it. There are people on this planet that have believed that pedophilia has been a great thing since the beginning of time. But no, as a society, no.
No.
We have agreed that even though yes, they're making a push,
Yeah.
we have to address it through discussion and calm conversations,
Yeah.
talking to our local officials, school boards,
Representatives. No.
protesting peacefully.
Yes. And then
You
also,
have to make your voice heard.
okay, Kat, I'll go ahead and share this. Growing up, my parents, we were a foster family. Not saying like we were abused, but we took in neglected, abused children into our home. And so there were some kids who came to our house, the scariest messed up shit you'll ever hear in your life. And we took them in, like I saw them as my brothers and sisters too. Hispanics as well, white people, black kids, like I had them all under because they came from terrible backgrounds because the state did put them in, but like let's put the state away because they were abused and neglected by their parents as well. There were some kids who came into our homes who were already addicted to drugs because their mom was doing meth while they were pregnant with them. See, that's an abuse. But I can't tell that person like, hey, just because you're an alcoholic, I'm taking your child away because I see the danger. Unless we see the police officer see like, yes, this child is living in endangerment, like a dangerous environment, bottles everywhere. Mom or dad cannot comprehend anything or cannot make a sentence because they're drunk. I'm going to take the child away. And yeah, I'm very passionate about this, about kids being abused and neglected. And it is a new thing, what Ryan is saying. That like yes, the mutilation of kids. I don't agree with that, and I think Blair White has done a great example of explaining: do not do anything to the children because they have a free will. When they're of age, that is up to them to make the decision whether they want to do top or bottom surgery, and if they want to do that, by all I personally I wish they don't because it's healthy to keep those organs. But I cannot make that decision for them. I will also say I do have a friend who came out as a they, them. And this friend of mine had top surgery. I wanted this person to keep her healthy breasts, but that's her choice. Because I wanted her to be healthy and have her keep her boobies. She still went with it. And I still love her the same. She's not anything different. And she's also against like mutilation. She was an adult when she made that decision. I cannot make that choice for my friend or for the kids. Does that clear anything?
No, you can make it for kids. Period. The state.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Because if a sick parent who doesn't know what, this is flat out child abuse. It's flat out child abuse. There's nothing.
I'm gonna call it on this topic.
Flat out.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Okay.
We are not going to come to a consensus on this at this time. Perhaps at another time. But
yeah.
There are things I agree with you on, Kat, and things that I absolutely cannot. But that's okay. I just I don't want to push this too much further because we are all friends here.
Yeah, and I love you guys.
I would like to remain that way.
Yeah, I love you. I just met you, and I think you're an amazing girl. Like, that's great that you're passionate, but let's just keep it where it's at. And you know what? Let's just talk about gaming because you're also passionate about gaming. and I have no
Hey,
idea what to do and what to play with.
Can I chime in real quick because I've pretty much been quiet through the whole time. I don't know why it's just on my heart to say this to you, Kat. But I want you to know that amongst all this, there have been backlash among young teens and grown adults behind what's going on. In fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a woman who is now suing her psychologist and her psychiatrist and 6 doctors because she got transformative surgery to become a man. So her certain things were taken out, certain things were cut off. She is now suing them and saying that her psychologist and psychiatrist took advantage of her while she was in the midst of a mental crisis, convinced her that she was trans, and then referred her to doctors who then performed the surgery that cannot be reversed. So now these doctors are in trouble because she's saying, "Hey, I was in the midst of a mental crisis, and the people that I trusted convinced me that I'm something that I'm not, and now I want to have kids. I can't have kids." I've also seen um, throughout, even going back to last year, of young kids, going into college and starting to try to reverse some of the damage that's been done to them. Um, and maybe that will lead to maybe that will lead to people rising up and saying, "Hey, this is wrong." Because I understand what all of you guys are saying. If my wife and I weren't getting along, and if she took our children and ran to California to do all that, I'd be furious. I'd be begging somebody to police anybody to stop her. It's a scary thought that she could just take my kid and the kid can run off and go to California and have all that stuff done, and California will literally form a blockade and block me from getting to either one of them. So
And
I understand both sides.
So what you're saying is the problem is California, and we should excise it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Among
Superman, don't stop the missiles.
Yeah.
I
I
want to
think
finish with
I think the people in charge that's supporting this stuff, I think we need to boot them out of office.
agreed.
Yep.
I got a love
No,
for all you. I
no.
have a lot of love for all you guys. We're all friends. We're all still going to be friends after this, and I think we all want what's best for the kids, and so I think we need to move on. The chat has dealt with this long enough, and
Yeah. Sorry,
And-
chat.
Yeah, they started telling jokes to each other.
Cat, if you need a break, I understand, and you and I can have a conversation behind the scenes, and with Nomi and stuff like that, and we'll tell you how to affect, to make your community a better place that you like to be. So, because trust me, I understand where you come from, and I don't want you to be so upset.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
So
You're-
Seriously, it breaks my heart to see you in tears like that, because
It
I
does.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I cannot say that that you're a bad person for anything that you said, because I just,
no,
Oh,
We love-
Yeah.
we-
nobody's
we-
saying
kids,
that at all.
kids
you're
are
valid.
nothing. Kids
We
are
look-
nothing to play around with. So I completely understand.
we love you, girlfriend.
Yeah. Don't cry because I'm gonna cry.
Seriously,
You're really our
Cat,
valid cat.
you're one of my closest friends on this platform.
Yeah.
I got a lot of love for you.
Oh, how
Aw.
beautiful.
And you know what? And honestly, and I have an idea. I have an idea, Kat.
Larry, I don't want to see your balls.
Here's something, and I mean this. Hey, Ryan, I'm being serious, dude.
I know, sorry.
Here's something that you could do. Here's something that you could do in your state. Learn all you can, get yourself ready, and then run for office.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you,
fuck yeah.
it will
You'd
be
be
very
badass.
difficult. It will be very difficult for them to make you look bad.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. You can totally kill it.
Can't stop that powerful
Put
woman.
yourself,
Yeah.
get yourself in a put yourself in an area, in a situation to where you can make those changes.
Yeah.
If
And
I ever,
Nev-
They'll never stop the Brojavi gamer.
I will be your first donator to your campaign. I will fund your campaign. I will be your cheerleader.
I will be there with my sign.
Yeah.
It says cat for prez.
I will be there with crowbars and hyenas.
And I will donate. No, I know everybody's smiling. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
I am not joking.
No, I
at
am
all.
Yeah, we're not.
I am
we're,
too.
Yeah. Just because we're smiling means that we fully support you. We know you. If you have this burning passion, you can totally run this world.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. And here's something that you guys don't know. I had to watch a family member of mine abuse my niece, and the CPS literally told me that there was nothing they could do about it because since I was in the house, that as far as the law and the courts were concerned, my niece was protected. At the same time, because this person had had legally adopted them, the police were saying that there was nothing I could do to stop her. So you know what I did? I annoyed that family member to the point that she sent that girl away, and then I put my Timberland boot on and I booted that person out of my house as far as I could. Half my family right now is angry at me and they think I'm wrong. The other half was clapping,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't change a thing.
Like the most powerful thing that you can do is actually stepping up for it. My parents stepped up when we brought in neglected, abused kids. My brother stepped up when he became a police officer because he sees that the world is broken and he will make a difference. If someone's going to, like Larry said, if he were to reach out to a police officer to help him get his kid back, my brother would be there to help anyone that needs it. And your voice is just as powerful as anyone.
Yep.
And you should never let anyone take that away from you.
Cat, keep talking.
Honestly, this is the kind of thing like Ryan was saying the other day about how you need to get your voice out there. You need to make videos talking about the things that you're passionate about. This is the kind of thing that you should do it on.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
Make yourself heard.
Yeah.
You have more passion than I've seen in most YouTubers, and that's one that have millions of subscribers.
Yeah.
Link up with Luke Casley. Luke Casley, and if you can get a hold of her, what's her name? The Crimson Cure. Try to see if you can get in contact with them.
Yeah.
All right.
But you are an amazing person, Kat, and your frustrations are the same frustrations we have when it comes to kids.
Agreed.
Trust me. It really is.
Between this and the woke nonsense, I'm tired.
I'm tired too.
I know.
I'm tired too.
Well,
Because on top, and then you guys wanted to bring up gaming. The whole Destiny thing is just.
you tell us about
Yeah,
that.
tell us about Destiny.
You don't want to know about it.
it.
'Cause you don't want to know. I mean, this woke thing is getting into everything. It won't stop. I'm getting tired of it. Between seeing it happening in the schools, seeing it in the movies, seeing it in entertainment, seeing it in Destiny 2 now, where it's like,
Cat.
Everything goes in cycles. This will pass. It's just it is being pushed by a very loud minority. So it makes it seem like it makes it seem like this is the prevailing thought.
Yeah, and it's not.
There is pushback. The needle is shifting.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
Shifting.
And I'll tell you what, the city
sorry,
that I
Lance.
live in, the city that I live in, LGBTQ wise, is the second coming of San Francisco. And even those people that are in part of that community, even they're tired of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Even they're complaining about it now.
And it's showing. And it's showing around and this is something that I cover a lot, the economics of stuff. It's not paying off, and it's showing in box office, in sales, in everything, it's showing up in the ratings numbers. Woke doesn't sell as much as they are trying to convince you that they are on the right side of history. The numbers and the money does not agree with them. This will pass. This is that final, as Tom calls it, the final read. Tom the co-host of Tom the
Midnight
of the Midnight Sitch. They're going to ramp it up. They're going to get louder because they know their power is slipping. They don't have the culture that they think they do.
Yeah. And then
Agreed.
also, history is bound to repeat itself. Rome fell, and we're seeing that process again where it will fall. It's just a trend. It sucks right now. I understand. I know.
You know, they got non-binary. Basically, I would say on the stream, it looks like the new characters in Destiny 2 are. If you went onto Twitter and said "draw a guardian," they speak like stupid. It's everywhere, and it's
Yeah.
like it's
I
tiring.
know we're being educated every day with it, but you know, we
Oh
could
yeah, and
we
Black
could,
Tinkerbell and
we could watch movies like Top Gun Maverick that was actually made for entertainment.
I actually
Spider-
have a list of movies that I have watched recently that I enjoyed
Spider-Man: No
very
Way
much.
Home. Yes,
Did not have any of this crap in it. And
correct.
none of them are the movies that you would think.
Is
None
it
of them.
racist?
These-
Is it racist that I call her Tinker Black?
I mean,
No.
a little bit.
I
but,
call her Black Rebel.
so I'm gonna yeah. It's like Peter Darker.
What is it with Peter Pan? He doesn't look like Peter Pan.
Well,
No,
I
he's Patel Pan.
yeah. So is Patel Pan. Okay, so I'm gonna read out this list of movies that I have watched recently that I enjoyed. And that I think y'all will enjoy. Most of them are on Hulu. I've been watching a lot of fucking Hulu lately. So
by
forgive that.
Disney.
The first, I'm aware of who owns it. I know full well who owns it. All right. So the first one is Vengeance. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a BJ Novak film.
Okay.
It's about a podcast host who ends up in Texas investigating the death of a girl that he once hooked up with.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave it at that because I think it's actually very, very good. I think you guys would enjoy it. It's recent too, which I don't say that about recent shit.
Right.
I enjoyed it very much. Another recent movie that I saw recently that I think you guys would like. Riders of Justice is a Danish flick with Mads Mikkelsen.
Ooh, Mads is good.
It's very good. It's you can find that one on Hulu. Hell or High Water, which is a kind of a modern Western. It's got Jeff Bridges chasing down Chris Pine and Ben Foster, who were robbing banks in West Texas. It's a great fucking movie. There's Boss Level I just watched with Frank, what's his name? Guy who played Crossbones in
Frank Grillo.
Yeah, Frank Grillo. And Mel Gibson. You know, it's about a guy who dies over and over and over again, and it's very much like a video game thing. It's Groundhog Day, but stupidly violent. Super fun.
I mean, I have had lists too. I would see the Northman.
I'm not done.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm halfway through.
Halfway through? All right, fine.
Yeah. We got Palm Springs, which is, again, kind of a Groundhog Day setup. Lots of bloody death in it, but it's a comedy, which was a lot of fun. A movie called Last Looks with Charlie Hunnam, which is a kind of a modernish detective noir, which I very much enjoyed. And then Sea Fever, which is a very strange little movie about a crew of fishermen who take a biologist out with them, and they encounter something in the deep that defies explanation, and then things ensue.
Right. Like I've seen another Northman is a great film, absolutely great film.
Sure.
And you can get that on Amazon, on HBO Max. You've got The Menu, amazing film, very well done film. On Peacock, Megan just came out, excellent film, and the director's cut, which is even better. Then you've got on Netflix, you've got Arcane, which is just a great series. So there is stuff out there, and plus you've also got the media that you've bought or downloaded throughout the years. I mean, I've gone back and I rewatched the Daredevil series on from Daredevil series from Netflix. Amazing.
You know that I have a
series.
VHS copy of Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Do you now?
and I've had it since 1987, and it still
That's-
plays.
That's
Wow.
I was muted. I'm just saying. I'm not surprised, you old ass motherfucker.
No, I think the worst part just is I genuinely love Destiny. I love the video game. I love it. And to see them messing with it and turning it into this woke ass pathetic, it's like, yeah, I know there's other stuff out there, but it's like I
You just
love
jealous
Destiny.
because
Okay.
Yeah.
I-
You keep it up, Little Spoon.
I love that video game series. I've been playing it for years. I have thousands of hours in the game, and for them to just turn it into this monstrosity of what it used to be because of woke narrative.
Same thing happened to me with DCUO. I played that for 10 fucking years, and it went.
Can
to
I
some
can I
route.
say one thing, Kat?
Yeah.
You, the consumer, you don't have to buy it. I know it sucks. It's a game you grew up with, but if they changed it and it's something you don't like, you don't have to play it.
correct.
Yeah, play something you do like.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are trying to change an IP that you love, it's because their idea won't sell, and they know that, and they know that yours, and they know that something you love does. So this is why they are hijacking these IPs, is because their ideas suck.
Yeah. So like me, I love Pokemon. I've been watching it as a kid, and if they start changing it, guess what? They lost a viewer. Because I don't want to hear it anymore. I know everything. I don't want to see it. I want to just watch a silly
Escape.
I want to see
Escape.
I want to escape. I want to see a little animated funny cartoon. That's it.
Well, that's why I mentioned that I went off with that list here just a minute ago. Like I guarantee that most of those movies, some of them you may have heard of, most of them you probably haven't. There's a
Right.
reason for that. It's because I am looking outside of what is being presented to the world at large. Is like, this is what's fucking available, because it's not. There's other stuff. People are making stuff on their own. They're like, I'm watching things that aren't seeing theaters, that aren't seeing mainstream, that aren't even fucking produced mainstream. You know.
I saw.
Yeah, you know, because frankly, you get some better products. Hell, I just recently rewatched. You guys are familiar with the channel called AFK here on YouTube? So they do some funny little vignettes. Lately, they've been doing some Stormtrooper shit, which is actually hysterical, and I would recommend it. But they put out a couple of there's a web series that they do called AFK, which is about a bunch of gamers worldwide who were all playing an MMO, and one day they woke up as their characters in that world.
That's cool.
Right? It's like they got stuck inside the computer, but you know it's real, and if you die, you really die.
It's kind of like Tron.
Or
kind of, except it's all very real. You know, like they are elves, they are gnomes, and all that stuff. So, and it's, you know, you get the stereotypical dude character who plays the hot, you know, barbarian chick, because if he's got to look at an ass all day, right? But now he's stuck in the body of the hot chick.
Oh, so it's like
Jumanji?
Yeah,
so it's like
there's
Jumanji and
Tron.
Jumanji and Tron.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, there's a gnome in it who is a woman who got tired of being, you know, catcalled and whatnot in the game or whatever, so played as a dude, and now has to deal with how to pee through a penis. And it's really fucking funny.
Jack Black did that in the first one,
and it's funny and it's cute, and it's I mean, it is kind of low budget, but it's better production values than you think. A couple years ago. I can look it up for you.
So after Jumanji.
Yeah, but they it is surprisingly heartfelt, and some of the acting is really stellar in it.
Bum, 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 bum.
And also, I didn't care about Jumanji. I didn't see it until years after it came out. So,
well, they ripped off the fucking story.
Yep, they did.
I still haven't seen it, so
I was really disappointed that Robin Williams didn't show up. Just kidding. That's actually terrible.
Was he not dead?
Wow.
Yeah, that's terrible. He was already,
I was like, if he had showed up, there'd have been a bigger problem, I think.
Yeah, no, that was just terrible. That was bad on my end. My bad.
It'd have been a weekend at Biden's. He's like, Oh, it's like never mind. I'm so done. I'm tired.
Yeah,
It's been a long
So-
day, and I have another stream to go to. Great.
Oh wow.
you do.
Yeah, it'll be number 3.
Give me a second. I'll see if I can find it. You know, I'll just put the link for the channel in the chat here because you can find everything on there.
Oh, I just saw an article.
Oh no! Oh no! What
Is it about the
happened?
trains?
Yeah, from no, it's not about trains. Screen Rant. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is Phase 5's Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Really?
That's what. Yeah. It's from Screen Rant.
Well, Screen Rant, that's a nice shill site. So we're just gonna.
That's what I'm saying. They're basically
They're-
like sucking
they're
the
trying.
butthole of fucking Disney.
They are trying.
It's
No!
Age of Ultron. It's not that
No,
bad.
no, this movie's really good. Really, because because I can go back to the numbers and we can check that again.
I have not seen it, and I literally have no interest in seeing it
Yeah, me either.
because it does not appeal to me anymore. Anything Marvel does not appeal to me. It's just boring now.
Is it because you're sexist? Racist,
Assembly line.
I'm proud of
homophobic,
it.
bigoted?
It's
There's
an assembly line.
yeah.
It's
I think it's because Nomi is a bigot.
I can tell you.
Well,
I
she's
can
a
tell
good
you
company.
this. Forspoken sold like nothing, so I can confirm that. I can tell you, Strange Worlds, we got like 5 copies in, and we sold 2. And I was tempted to buy it simply because I knew that steelbook was going to be ridiculously rare.
Ooh, hot take.
I don't know about that.
Well, yes, the villain was better than Mr. Modok and you know,
Kang.
Jonathan Majors
It's
is
just
paramount to as Kang, and
is just the most brilliant actor of our time. Wow.
Did you guys see the Vanity Fair article where he's like,
With Selena Gomez, yes.
what the
Okay,
hell was that?
So, okay, I mean, really, I'm just gonna say this right here. They are propping up Jonathan Majors because he's also in Creed as well.
He's also Black Jesus. Remember Freckle Jesus from
The Willow and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and
Soldier,
Solo.
Yeah. Freckle Jesus.
Hmm.
Jonathan Majors is Black Jesus,
real-
starring as Kang. Sorry.
Real quick, speaking of racism, Shadow, you got that shit the other way around, man.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You know, I am a cosmic being. You are so far beneath me as to be an ant beneath my boot.
You know that boy is only right for the most part when he's talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's our lofty pixels.
Yeah.
And
he's our lofty
mostly
pixels. We
right.
love him. We love him,
Yeah,
and sometimes
he's our
dead on
Shad.
balls accurate too. But
Yeah.
he's
our Shad. He's our Shad on.
He's more of an edgelord, I think, than Shad is.
I like Shad.
I think sometimes that boy says shit just because it's edgy.
Tell me something, Nomi. Doesn't it drive you nuts though how they always talk for women? And I don't mean these guys, not these guys. No, where they're like, okay, we made this for women. We made a strong female character because isn't that what you women want? Doesn't it drive you absolutely nuts?
Yes.
Or they're like,
That's actually a good comment too.
Well,
I mean, hey, $20 is $20.
It's funnier because Muggsykins is gay.
I mean, I don't think Shadow is simping over Nomi or Cat, so I'm just saying.
Oh, that's right.
well, you better not be simping over me or I'll whack him. He doesn't agree with me on half my corpus takes until I argue with him until he has no point.
Yeah, but you're still a biological female. There's only 2 on the panel, and he sims for the others. he sims for the ones with this.
He also tried to take away my title that Ryan gave me. So yeah, I kind of believe that now.
It just as a fellow female minority person, so to speak.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of the things that frustrates me so much, and one of the reasons why I need to make more content and why I started making content is that they claim to speak for us. They think they claim this is what we want. Don't you want more representation? People always get blown away when, like, I was arguing about Tim Drake. I keep getting people who come back to my Tim Drake isn't bi, and they'd be like, "But don't you understand? We need representation. You must understand." No.
Yeah. Like, I'm okay with that as I am. You can ask me for my opinion. You may not like it, but yeah, maybe talk to females and go touch grass.
Or
Damn, Drake is annoying anyway. His little putts.
No, but or the one that really got to me was the whole Hogwarts Legacy. Like, oh my god, this is so dangerous and full of hate. It's like, have you seen a video game made after 2001 with Muslims in it, where you're literally killing Muslims? And I don't have a problem with those. So you want me to bend over backwards for you when I'm going to probably be buying 6 days in Fallujah just to piss people off.
Yeah. I mean, I think the greatest representation movie that's out there would be Sicario. So, I mean, Emily Blunt is in it. She is a DEA agent or an ICE agent, but I don't know. That's almost close to home. Like, yeah, they did their studies on that show or that movie. So,
well, I don't know. That's where the frustrating thing is. Like, they ignore our existence. They're like, no, we want representation and diversity, but we're not even gonna assume this is what you want.
Yeah,
you mean you don't want Brie Larson as a superhero?
No, and I don't like Ms. Marvel.
I've never seen any of the episodes of Ms. Marvel.
Me neither, and I don't care.
I kind of don't care. It's just
actually, as far as a story goes, it's actually the most consistent story.
Okay.
And has good and as far as a family friendly show, it has the most consistent family values of any of the shows. Aside from I would say aside from the first 5 episodes of the WandaVision, which is probably the most creatively ambitious show Marvel has done, Ms. Marvel is probably the best show that they've done.
No, but let me just say something about Ms. Marvel, because you'll find it even more hilarious why I don't care about Ms. Marvel. She's from Jersey City.
Right.
I went to school for a year in Jersey City.
Okay.
So technically, she's basically a part of, like, I've gone to mosques in Jersey City. I know Muslims from Jersey City. So it's even closer to home for me. And yet I don't care at all about Ms. Marvel. I don't relate to Ms. Marvel. I prefer Vista from Warframe.
Wait, hold up. You're talking about that you don't care about the politics of the mosque where you live?
Because
that's part of the
because
it's a bad show.
Really, well, it was okay. I mean, there wasn't a lot of agenda that I saw in that.
She did chastise your dad a little more than she should.
Well, as a teenager has done, and you know it
doesn't happen a lot with Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
they usually there are consequences when you chastise your father.
Well, it depends also on the family household. But on top of that, I was told, now I haven't seen it, Joker Voice, you could correct me, I was told that they made a big deal about women praying behind the men.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see that as a big deal. I mean, they showed it.
They talked about it. Yeah, it was.
Which is stupid. Sorry. Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
No. We actually talked about this. I think it was before JV became a part of Friday Night's Royal Rumble.
Possibly,
about why they talked about that, and so.
Yeah, I hate that one so much. That argument gets to me so much because nobody ever brings up the actual reason why women pray behind the men. I've brought this up multiple times, so everybody knows it except no.
I don't care why. It doesn't.
No, but I hate the fact that they turn into this big political thing, and it's not. It's just simply, yeah, like he said, women don't want men staring at their booty while they're trying to pray.
Gotcha.
And also, men should be focused on praying.
And not staring at women.
Not booty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like some booty.
I mean,
not while you're praying.
and
Sorry.
It's
I'm not
just
saying,
booty.
and I'm not saying that any of the Marvel shows that were good. They were all objectively bad. But the best of the well,
Well, somebody isn't interested in booty.
You son of a bitch.
Just his
Wow.
booty.
And
For
then
the record,
Shadow's
that
not-
was not me in the photo.
And then Shadow is now interested.
That is
That's right,
not
it's not.
consensual.
But you know,
All
as
right, it
far
was
as
a long weekend. I'm sorry.
but as far as the best of the worst shows, Ms. The Marvel had the most consistent story. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Suka had an interesting question because I never actually considered this myself when we had discussed it before, Kat. What if the women stare at the men's butts?
In
Right.
general, women don't
I
tend
d-
to.
I don't-
It's not.
I agree that it's not a common thing, but you know, it likely does happen. I mean, law of averages.
It does happen, but it's probably easier for the women, and they also know they're not supposed to either, and they're supposed to be focused on prayer. It's harder for men to not. Fine, I'm just gonna say it. It's harder for men to not stare at women's booties than it is for women to stare at men's booties.
That-
That is
In gaming.
that is sexist.
Yes, and I'm proud of it. Bring it on. It's
mean-
a fact, and you know it.
I mean, if the guy
I-
works out and he has
I-
a nice peach, I'll probably look at it, but that's something I don't necessarily look at men. That's not the first thing I look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general,
'cause,
women
you
don't
know,
tend to stare at men's
dudes are
booties as
gross.
much.
Let's be
God.
honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
experience,
dudes are
they
gross.
do. I've actually had my rear end grabbed by quite a few women without my consent.
I mean, that's
Oh.
happened. But it's not like. But they're not like getting up close and staring at it.
That's
Yeah,
because
they
you're
were.
because Larry, you're a black man with a juicy booty.
And well, yeah, because there's the DeLorean who that comes with the package, and then you've got tentacles to look at up there.
It's just so.
Women can control it more than men. Okay.
That
We know-
again, that is sexist.
Good.
Not with alcohol, they can't.
That,
Yeah, well,
that-
they're not supposed to be going to prayer drunk. They're not even supposed to be drinking at all.
apparently you've never been.
Hanging out with me.
Vegas.
Apparently,
Oh,
you've never been to a mosque.
Apparently you've never been to Las Vegas. I have served quite a few folks on their way to church. I am just saying.
Church. Emphasize the point. Church. I'm gonna go with most of you have never been in a mosque,
I've been in a
I have
mosque.
been in a mosque.
I've been in.
I wasn't
I've-
supposed to be,
and
but
I'm
I
sure
was.
you haven't seen
Yeah.
a lot of drunk Muslims trying to pray in a mosque.
Oh no, there was
No.
nobody in it while I was in there. Like I
That
said,
I-
I wasn't
I mean-
supposed to be there.
I was
That I
with a
know of.
friend,
I mean, that I know of.
and I was
didn't-
not drunk. I was sober because
You were in a
she-
mosque.
And she was
Not-
looking at
not-
men's butts.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh wait, well, hold. Now you're tongue tied. Are you sure?
Why she was
Yes,
in,
I'm sure.
while she was in
I
there, but while she was in there, she was like, "I need a drink. God darn it, let's go. We'll get this over with."
I was like, how long do we have to be here?
I
No,
mean,
just kidding.
Look, there are Muslims who drink. They're not supposed to, but they do. But I'm pretty sure even the ones who do drink have the common sense not to drink in a mosque
No,
because
no,
they're not going to be in
no-
that mosque for very long.
Well, no one said drink in the mosque, but I have served quite a few folks who are on their way to the religious service in one fashion or
Yeah, and
another.
I've been to some churches that have wine for communion, not
Like
necessarily
actual wine.
drinking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I know. I've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
that.
but you don't chug that wine. That's a different.
Yeah. And
It's-
now I will admit I have
it-
gone to
It's
church
very
service.
cheap wine.
Yeah,
It's
I
very
have gone to a
cheap
church
wine.
service completely wasted,
I believe you.
but Brian believes me.
I believe you.
But
Wait, I served you then, didn't I?
I no,
I think I
Nope.
got a meme for that about reviewing stuff.
you did. Yeah, you definitely didn't serve me there, Joker.
Cat's out of the bag.
That's new.
I like that.
Yes, it is.
Well played, sir. Well played.
That
I
is
have
not.
never been to the mosque drunk. I can tell you that for sure.
You've never
Wait,
drank,
Kat,
but
I was gonna say. I was gonna ask,
Okay,
do you
that's
drink?
true too. But that's
I mean-
beside the point. I've never been to.
That's like saying
Technically,
to.
that's true.
That's like saying to your only sibling, "You're my favorite brother."
Oh, well, that's what my father says to me
You
all
know?
the time. My father says I'm his favorite daughter. I'm
So,
also his only daughter.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Kat, I have to ask, what under any circumstances would
true.
Islam allow you to have a drink?
None.
None.
Other than if you're dying of thirst in the middle of the desert and the only thing you have is alcohol. And my understanding is you shouldn't be drinking alcohol if you're dying of dehydration.
Yeah.
So,
Not,
right.
not even
absolutely.
at your wedding?
Nope. Absolutely none. In
Oh,
fact,
what-
I was
what the
told a
f-
story as a child. Yeah.
That's
I
a
like-
horrible
Alcohol
one.
is
That didn't go to.
100% forbidden.
Okay, I was just to ask, like, is this like a choice that you'd want? Or, like, you have the freedom to make that choice to drink if you like, or it's just like you are very teetotaler, like I'm going to be committed to not drinking at
So
all.
one of the things about Islam, and this is one of the things I was talking with my father about, and I brought it up in the past, Islam is not what we call a buffet religion. All right. You know how with a buffet you can go and you can pick what you want?
Yeah.
In Islam, we are supposed to follow everything. Everything in the Quran we are supposed to follow. So, for example, I joked with my dad because people are like, well, why don't you pick and choose? You think the first thing I would pick to dump is fasting Ramadan. So when it comes to
for me, it'd be
alcohol,
bacon.
well, I don't know. I've never tried bacon, so I'm not losing anything by not.
Turkey bacon.
Oh, well, we have turkey bacon. Yeah.
That's not
So-
bacon.
That's not the same. That's not bacon.
I know.
It's a
No,
crime
well,
against nature.
I've never experienced it, so I'm losing nothing. So when it comes to alcohol,
I don't know. I don't know.
Let her finish your point, dude.
Yeah, let
Okay.
it.
what I'm saying is it's the same thing with alcohol. And in fact, alcohol is so forbidden that even if my father one year came home from a Christmas party at work and someone had it known, gave him a bottle of wine, he had to dump it down the toilet. Because if you give somebody a bottle of wine, who knows what happens if you give it to them? They might drink it, get drunk, and get into an accident. They might drink it, get drunk, and beat their kid. So Islam is so against alcohol that I can't even like give money to buy as a gift that's going to go towards alcohol for somebody.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Or,
So you're
or
just
they,
Are
or
you?
they might drink that bottle of wine and take a really long, really great nap.
True, but there's always the possibility something negative will come of it.
the
as well.
circum- Yeah, you don't know what people's circumstances would be, like what their impairment would be, like either really sleepy, because people do get really sleepy when they drink, or really aggressive, or other things.
Maybe
Me,
just run over a bunch of kids at a crosswalk.
stop.
What? That happens.
That does happen. But me with alcohol, I don't know.
Are you a happy
But-
drunk?
I'm a happy drunk. I'm a friend drunk. I'm like, okay, guys, let's get everybody. Let's all have a good time. But if you cross, like, say if someone tries to step up to Kat and like tries to like hate on her or like try to fight her, like I will definitely be there to defend. Like, you need to back up because that's my friend and I will fight you. That's me.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're the happy drunk that can quickly escalate into the angry drunk really quick.
Yeah, the drunk Nomi is a protective person.
I'm
And
gonna
we'll-
have to test this theory when you come to Vegas. I'm just gonna.
That's called abort mission.
Yeah. And then also, like, I have that Latina in me, so I have all that fury. So do not cross me.
That's why I pointed out.
Inspiring.
You guys want to see me drunk? You do not want to. I mean, if I'm this crazy and I'm not drunk, you really want to see me drunk?
You would
You-
probably actually be the opposite.
You're
Right.
probably very silly. I could
Yeah.
see
You would be very. You would
I
probably
guess
be
as-
very
as high
silly
energy you are. You're going to be very talkative and very, very animated.
because and just remember, alcohol is a sedative. It's not a stimulant, dear. As
Tequila will make me learn how. Sorry, joke, JV. Continue.
No.
Good, go.
which I mean you've got your Red Bull there. It's a complete stimulant. I mean Red Bull and the vodka because you want to remember every bad decision that you make the night before. I'm just saying.
No, I don't. I don't want to remember.
Vodka with that Red Bull will make you learn how to dance.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So Asuka asked, "Can I eat bacon flavored?" It depends on if there's bacon in it.
Of course there
So
is.
so
it's
if it's
bacon
bacon
flavored, there's bacon in
flavored
it.
and it has bacon, then yeah, that means no, I can't.
So have you
mean-
ever had? So have you ever had a chicken fried steak with country grape?
No.
That sounds
So
so good right
good.
now.
I know, right?
Eggs, scrambled eggs,
What?
cheese.
What worst I've done is eat candy and not realize that the gelatin in it has pork in it.
Yeah. Like I try to keep kosher as much as possible, but I don't.
I mean,
I was
the
Mexican
gelatin
first.
is it's not pork meat so much as it's like pork
grease?
hooves.
Because that country gravy is made with bacon grease, and that's just
you're basically eating
yum.
the
And
inside of
sausage.
their toenails, but yeah,
Right.
it's a whole thing. It's not really like the meat of the animal though.
Yeah, but it's still made out of pig.
Yeah. I actually spent some time in Dubai, and it's very, very heavily like no pork anything. So
Yep.
I had beef bacon before, and that was basically beef jerky.
Yeah, we've had
Sounds
beef
good.
bacon.
I'd eat that.
Yeah.
I've eaten beef bacon. And Haribo candy uses a non-pork gelatin. The Haribo, that's why you find them in like Middle Eastern countries. We have them in Egypt.
That reminds me of you talking the sausage, pork, and I'm making a jambalaya tonight.
That sounds
Dang,
delicious.
that does sound good. I never
It
had
is good.
jambalaya.
Oh, it's good.
Oh,
That is some meat
I
right
know.
there.
I have a Cajun friend, and he has a Cajun family. Like, yeah, you can.
That is some good eating right there.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
I mean, the first time I went to Louisiana, I had to have a po' boy, and
Oh, yeah.
I loved a po' boy.
Po' boy,
shrimp po' boy,
some gumbo, some etouffee.
I never had those.
Have you had boudin?
No.
Yes, I have. And
I have,
red
yeah.
beans and rice.
Oh.
I got a sister who's
Man.
gonna make me some Cajun style gator bits with cornbread.
Oh, alligator is delicious.
It is tough,
I just
good.
ate before this stream, and I'm hungry again.
Yeah, I know. You guys are making me fucking hungry. So,
I got to scoot.
Yeah, I think we probably
We're
should
coming
all-
into 3 hours.
I'm gonna go catch me like an apex predator and eat it. Typically, the show Nomi does go about 3.5 hours. It just kind of depends on when we wind down,
No worries.
that kind of thing. But I unlike Ryan here, I don't have a heart out. So
Come back.
I
It's
just
like
refer to
having a
what you
break
said
from the
last night when
sausage
you were
fest.
just like, we don't go over 2 hours. It's like,
well,
yeah,
I prefer not to go over 2 hours.
I know you
but
prefer that, but I have watched past shows of yours that went way over 2 hours.
All right, fuck face. Fine. You know what? I try to do it for the guests because I'm
know.
considerate, and quite
You are
frankly,
you're considerate because you're a bit of a sub.
No, but besides, I like talking to Ryan and JV, so I don't mind if it goes longer.
I love you, little spoon.
you really want to fucking fight? You really want to fight?
I don't want to
No,
fight.
I don't. I just wanted to mock you a little bit.
Hairball.
So,
Shut up.
guys, wait, are you done?
I don't know.
I don't know
Are
what
you-
I missed. All I said was I like talking with Ryan and JV. That's why I don't mind if it goes long.
See, the ladies like talking to me.
Yeah.
What about you, weirdo?
No. I'm the guy in the closet.
All I heard, all I heard is that cat liked it long. That's all I heard.
No,
I really don't.
no.
It's
I will,
fun.
She doesn't like to
overhead-
share.
Wait,
All for
according
you,
to Munchkin
Kat.
Kids, I joke like a virgin, so
I will.
Yeah,
try to-
you kind of
I will-
do.
I'll try my best to protect you.
it's
Kat.
obvious, isn't it?
Like,
It's endearing.
you know,
Yeah.
I was out with this girl last night, and there were breasts, and they were really nice.
I would never
Where's
say
my
that.
girl?
Nothing. It's just it was a bad joke. Didn't land. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Well,
It's
you
like a
know,
40
I would never say that.
Thinking of that the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's trying to hang with the guys and they're all talking about their sexual exploits. And he just like doesn't have any idea what he's talking about.
Guys, look, give him a break because he's an old man, and quite frankly, he hasn't been around the blocks in probably 50 years. So,
I'm not that fucking old.
sure.
JV's older than I am. So's
I am.
Lawrence.
I don't
Wow.
look it though.
Wow, kicking the black guy under the bus. The hell's
Well,
your problem?
Oh,
You know,
wow.
I
you'll
don't
be
look
fine.
it.
Black don't crack.
Likewise.
Wow.
I've
Racism.
seen you, Samuel. I don't look it.
Yeah, you didn't do to yourself what I've done to myself. So yeah, that's probably true. Anyway,
I don't want to know what you did to yourself.
He stuck that dildo up his ass.
well, you know,
Okay.
All right,
okay.
let's get the ladies out of here.
To blue
Yeah.
raspberry.
yeah. Hey, everybody, stop talking about me.
Huh?
Shut up.
What?
I'm gonna mute you now, Larry. Thank you all for coming. It's been a good show. It's been an interesting one. I think yeah. So we'll go with that. But we are everybody's hungry. We all want to go eat. So yeah, we're gonna dip out of here. So let's go around the horn, starting with our guest of honor today, Know Me Without You.
Hi. You can find me on Twitter at Know Me Without You. I will be posting a YouTube video soon on my channel at Know Me Without You. Hopefully you can find it. I will
Link is
be
in the description.
around. Yeah, link is in the description.
I already subbed.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, JV. I appreciate that. I will, feel free to reach out to me. Let's chat. I'm all about the good vibes, the good hangs, and good conversation. And I also have a dog, guys.
Ooh.
I put you right next to the cat person. I don't know if this is gonna work out. Yeah, it's not me. I hate cats.
I just switched. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you saw my cat, so
Yeah.
Speaking of-
Buster.
Cat, what you got coming up?
probably gonna be live streaming with Muggsykins tomorrow. World of Warcraft. She's awesome to live stream. She's just, I don't know how she tolerates teaching me MMORPGs without like ripping her, like just going absolutely nuts and going, dear God, and throwing something. But she's gotten me now into WoW and Final Fantasy 14. So I have to make some videos. Let's see, Thursday me and Shadow have Merry Madness. It's supposed to be on his channel this week. You definitely missed a fun one. We were arguing the nutritional value of the corpus on last Thursday. Then Friday, Royal Rumble with Ryan and JV, and sometimes Lawrence, and sometimes Samuel. Sometimes any one of these people. 8
That's a
o'clock.
good way to put it.
Yeah, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then we're back to and yeah, oh yes, I got a new mount in WoW. She showed me how to get a horse, which was kind of cool.
It's a lot faster to get around on those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I got a free mount because I bought Dragonflight because it was on sale for like really cheap for the Valentine's Day, and it's huge. The dragon is huge, and you can't fly with it yet. So then she's like, "Let me show you how to get a horse."
Fair enough. JV, go ahead.
Okay, so next week is a busy week for me. Aside from my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday videos, which will be Monday, last week's news now. Wednesday will be the second architect in the Marvel, in the downfall of the MCU. That's right, Kevin. You had help. That's right. But you keep sucking that dick there, okay? You keep going. I guarantee Honey's in there, okay? It's okay.
I don't think that's getting old.
It's not getting old, trust me.
And then Friday will be Mando season 3, episode 2. But next week I will be on the Monday. Legion Talk, going back to the world of the Westeros. We are in season 2, episode 7. Is that 7, right?
Or
Yeah,
I
7.
think, is it 7? I think it's
I think
8.
it's 7.
I think it's 8, dude.
Okay, fine.
I don't know. I'll have to look. I've slept.
It
twice
just blurs.
since
It just blurs at this point.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday I will be on with Tyler the Redbeard. We rank stuff. This week we will be doing Stallone movies. Thursday I will be on with Roman of the Empire. We will be talking about the first 2 Alien films and touching on the 3rd and 4th. And then Friday, I will be starting out with Legion Talk for Friday night's Royal Rumble. I will actually, I'm telling you now, I will have to. I will be there for about an hour because then I'm headed over to Cannoli Sasquatch, right at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So that is 3 videos and 5 streams next week.
Sounds
Busy
like
week.
fun. Sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah.
Lawrence Knight, what do you got?
Well, guys, next Thursday I will be doing some musings with some guy named Samuel the Infamous. In between that, I will be doing nothing online, at least for myself. But
Because you're in lockdown.
Possibly.
It's because he
Because
called
you're
his
locked
wife a Slytherin on air.
Well, not just
Yeah,
that,
she's still-
because
she's still
Nothing
pissed
wrong
about
with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, she's mad because I was talking to somebody else about it earlier, and she heard me, and she's pissed again. So
There's nothing wrong with that. The Slytherin is the greatest house.
well, I ended up getting into a 30-minute conversation with her where she asserted that Slytherins are loyal and trustworthy.
Mhm. Sure we are.
Bet.
Sure.
does everybody actually know their house here? I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. What's
Yep.
up?
I don't
Fucking-
have any idea.
There's two
Oh,
of
you're
you.
a Slytherin. You're definitely a Slytherin,
Oh.
Samuel.
Sammy, you're
Definitely a Slytherin.
so we have one Ravenclaw and we have one Gryffindor because that's the house
And
I
two-
got.
And
Yeah.
so we got two Slytherin, and God, there's actually two Hufflepuffs, and they actually admit it. Wow.
Larry, you got massive potty mouth. Are you sure you're a Hufflepuff?
Yes.
Hey, know me. I got for the release of Hogwarts Legacy. I bought a Ravenclaw robe. Yes, licensed merch too. You know, hey,
Oh.
you guys, licensed merch from it. And when the game was released on Tuesday and then Friday, I wore it to work,
Oh, that's amazing.
and they were like totally okay with me wearing it to work
Nice.
heck yeah. That's awesome that they allow you to wear that.
because it was like, I mean, the game was coming out, and yeah,
No, that is very cool, Kat. Ryan.
Okay, so we myself JV will be live on Monday night. It is episode 7, so I am wrong. JV's right, which happens more often than I prefer to admit. So yeah, season 2, episode number 7. We have Shadow there. We will have Tyler the Redbeard there. Mr. Grant Gregory from the Legion of Memers will join us eventually when he has time because he
Nice.
asked to be a part of the Game of Thrones stream. Excuse me, sorry. So tonight after this, in an hour at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be on Vets Talking. It's a Legion of Memers stream shoot off. The majority of us are all veterans. We're going to talk about it's Skinamax Saturday, so we get a little wild, a little crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's literally called Skinamax Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah. I think most of us.
That grin on your face.
Then we might have a stream Tuesday night for Vets Talking. It's a little more serious, talking about woke stuff, bad decisions in the military. I'm not sure if Soldier is going to move that, but anyway, Friday night is going to be Friday night's Royal Rumble. It will be a shorter stream because I will be out of town, so I think we'll keep it to an hour.
Okay.
Maybe just talk about the Mandalorian or something like that, because I will be visiting a friend before I move from Florida to Colorado, which is going to happen at the end of the month. So that's me. And Nomi, if you want to talk Game of Thrones Monday night, you're more than welcome. If you want to come on Friday night, you're more than welcome. Whatever schedule is good for you, we will have your back. And help you grow your channel.
No,
So-
thank
You're
you.
welcome Thursday night as well.
Oh,
If you want to,
Thursday night.
What
and
the fuck of Larry.
and if you want to guest,
No.
and if you want to guest, I'll be your first because I am the box office. I'm just saying.
okay. Well, let's all chat, guys. Like, I'm all about, like I said,
Absolutely.
I would love to help out. And
Perfect.
then, I do watch Game of Thrones. I actually just recently finished watching the series, so I'll rewatch it again for the second season.
Oh, all you
Oh,
gotta do is brush up on episode 7. We do it.
7.
Yeah,
Season 2, episode 7.
Okay.
JV, you said you figured out, right, that if we watch all
Every episodes and
House of the Dragon 1
and House of the Dragon, we should be right about where season 2 of House of the Dragon of the Dragon drops.
I can't
Okay.
wait for
I'm down.
Cars.
I'm all about it.
Draconis.
Let me just say thanks you guys for being my friend. I
Cat, we
appreciate
love
it.
you.
We love
Cat,
you, Cat.
of
I
course.
just wanted to
Your
say
family,
I
Cat.
That's not- yeah.
appreciate it. I've never had a lot of friends before, so
No, you
Well,
don't.
Your
No.
family, Cat.
You know how family fights and then they make up.
Cat, you're
Yeah,
I wouldn't even
you're
call it a
never gonna-
fight.
You're
Yeah,
not
it
gonna
wasn't a
get-
fight. Well,
Like,
well,
I wouldn't either. I'm just saying that this is like we ain't gonna quit you.
yeah.
No.
This is we have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And
Cat.
then what usually happens at the end of differences of opinions, you get in my car, I'll take you to McDonald's. It's whatever you want because food always is the answer to
I
end
agree.
on a good meal.
Just
good
don't get in a car with Samuel. He likes to tie rattlesnakes around the axle. and
That
drive.
never happened, fuckhead.
And then, well, or I would invite you, but you don't. I mean, I'd be like, oh, okay, we're all good. Hug it up. Let's have a drink. Let's go. But no.
She'll have a drink of water.
She can have a Red Bull.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's not poison at all.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my dad says he gets a virgin pina colada. That's what my
Oh,
father.
Okay.
why?
Oh,
But
coconut.
that will never happen because the blender is broken.
A Shirley Temple.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Rob Roy.
So the temple, that's a Roy. That you mean
Oh,
Roy
how about
Rogers?
I know
Sorry.
duels.
I haven't.
No,
never-
be one of
I thought
those.
of Rob-
No. That would not be because that is still 2% alcohol.
Oh, dang it. Sorry, girl.
It's okay. It's cool though. Thank you again. I just wanted to say that.
You're welcome. We
You're
got a lot.
welcome.
We got a lot of love for you.
We have cider.
absolutely.
We have cider.
Hey,
Right.
maybe Samuel will mix his drink for you. He combines Fireball with Everclear and he calls it the Flaming Cobra.
Oh,
I
That is
don't know
no-
what the hell. See, Larry likes to say this shit that doesn't actually happen. I don't know
that
what
is
he's talking about.
wrong.
That
Nothing's
like
wrong
made
with
my
me because
stomach
I don't
turn.
drink fucking Fireball. That's a bitch drink.
That's
Isn't that a porn
exactly.
No,
Fire-
Exactly.
Hell with
Fireball
Everclear,
is
it's
cinnamon
not.
whiskey.
no. Fireball is for
It's
like 22-year-old
liquid candy.
college girls.
Yes, it's
Yeah, but
liquid
not with
candy.
Everclear. It's not.
Hey, it's funny
oh,
you say that because
that's like gasoline.
I saw a bottle of Fireball and it's owned by two 22-year-old college girls.
This is from Thug McCoy, by the way. This is just for you, Shadow.
Padoha.
Wow.
I didn't have time to upload it. I was trying to get that through before we
I don't
quit
drink.
the
I'm so
stream here.
confused. Shadow, you're always confused.
Oh,
So,
wow.
That said, okay,
That just hurt my throat going.
like,
Hear,
see,
hear that?
I'm not really into Game of Thrones, so it means nothing to me. But I knew it would mean something to him.
That's not Game of Thrones.
I don't know what the
I'm-
fuck it is, man.
Starship Troopers, nutbag.
Start,
Oh,
troopers, exactly.
Yeah, I knew that was.
I
her.
don't know. It's
Yeah.
been a minute since I saw that
Wow.
movie too, and I
that's
unlike
a great
certain
film.
people in our
is
chat,
a
I
great
don't
film.
reference that and Fight Club every time I open my fucking mouth. So, all right, I'm Samuel the Infamous. This is obviously, if you're here, you know where to find me. This is the big show, Screaming into the Void every Saturday, 4 p.m. ish. Mountain Time, and then there's the Thursday show with Lawrence Knight, Abyssal Musings, 9:30 p.m. ish Mountain Time again. Occasional gaming streams. Occasionally, Ryan lets me slip into his back door. A bit, every once in a while, I'm on other stuff. Also, I do stuff for Exiled Linus if you're into politics
so
and that sort of thing. Go over there.
over right now.
I don't know.
He's hungry. He's hungry. Let's just pay
Yeah.
I am hungry. I am very
You-
hungry.
And
I
now,
will Eat your ass.
Okay, so Samael, when he's hungry, starts talking like me. Good to know.
Oh, I'm just hungry, tired, that kind of thing.
It
Anyway,
could always be worse. You
Thank
could be
you.
Samuel.
why is
drinking
everybody
Fireball.
stepping on my outro line every time? God damn it!
It could always be worse. You could be Samuel drinking Fireball. Play the outro.
While Cottonmouth
Toodles!
snakes fall from space.
All right, I am gonna
Toodles!
play the outro, but we're not doing an outro line because fuck everybody.